What's good, peeps? What's good? Smash the like button, everybody in the stream. Yes, Naima, what's going on? What's going on, bro? I hope you're good. How's it going? People in the house. I see people. Can't wait for Spence Ugas tomorrow. Good fight, man. I can't wait for it either. It's a good fight, man. I made a video about it. I've just uploaded it about an hour ago, giving my thoughts on it and Conor Ben. So yeah, I can't wait for it either, to be honest. It's a good fight. Good fight. I can't wait for it myself. It's going to be a good one. I think it's going to come down to Spence looks really good. Yeah, he's ripped. He's in good shape. He looks well. But Ugas is also a very good fighter as well. Very skilled operator. Very fast. Very good footwork. Very good counter puncher. So that's going to be an interesting fight. I think that's going to be very, very interesting. I'm looking forward to how good Spence looks in that one. I won't be surprised if Ugas nicks it, man. That's a tough fight. It is a tough fight because he can really fight. Ugas can really fight. I think he's been underlooked a little bit, Ugas. He's a really good fighter. Canelo GGG 3, what do you think? I don't know. It's a tough one for GGG, that one. It's definitely a tough fight, but it's one that GGG can win. I still think that I favor Canelo massively in it because GGG is not the fighter he was. He slowed down. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe we could see a monumental upset. But I think Canelo would be a massive favorite in that one. Massive favorite. Look, a lot of people want to see Golovkin win against Canelo, right? Because they feel like Golovkin was hard done by, and they want to see Golovkin get that win. But I think it's going to be very difficult against this version of Canelo now. I think Canelo's in a different spot. Guys, everyone in the stream, if you can smash the like button, I'd appreciate it. Yeah, I just think Canelo is in a different mindset. He's in a different place right now. And he's going to take some beating, to be honest with you. I think Canelo wins, but won't stop. GGG is too tough. Yeah, I don't think he'll stop GGG either, personally. But, a lot of people do think he stops him. I think Canelo wins, but not, yeah. I think that as well. I think GGG is just too tough. I think the man's got a granite chin. The guy's one tough fighter. Probably one of the toughest men ever, Yeah, the man is made out of different stuff. He's one of the toughest men. Like I said, he's got one of the best chins, in my opinion, that we've ever seen in the sport. I just think the guy's chin is different. So it's going to be hard for Canelo to knock him out. But, I think Canelo might go down to the body a lot and look to wear Golovkin down that way. I think he's not going to stop Golovkin to the head. He's not going to stop Golovkin to the head. I think if he's going to stop Golovkin, it's going to be to the body. Fury White, how do you think that one goes? I've got Fury outboxing White quite comfortably in that one. I think Fury's going to box him badly. I get the feeling Canelo is vulnerable to the body. What makes you say that? What have you seen that makes you say that Canelo is vulnerable to the body? What makes you think that Canelo is vulnerable to the body? I've never seen Canelo ever hurt or touch with a body shot where, he's hurt. Canelo's as tough as they come as well. I don't ever see Canelo hurt to the body. Golovkin's not really to the body. Like, people have seen him hurt, but he's never gone down. He's never really wobbled, or he's just tough. So I don't think Golovkin's as weak to the body now either. I just think it's the fact that, you get caught with a good shot and you see his facial expression show as if he's hurt, but he's not. Billy Joe Saunders has disappeared after the Canelo fight. Yeah, well, he got his face broken and he disappeared. But I don't think Billy Joe is going to be the same guy. I think Billy Joe goes up and down. I won't be surprised if Billy Joe ends up being a bit like how Khan was after the Canelo fight, where he looked completely shot to bits. I got Canelo winning, or possibly a draw. Against Bivol. Possibly Canelo winning or possibly a draw. This is a really good fight, man. I honestly, this is a really, really tough fight for Canelo, man. This is a very, very tough fight. I'm telling you guys now, this is a proper fight. Imagine GGG Canelo draw again. Lol. Yeah, it could do like GGG is tough, right? GG is very tough, and if like what GGG's got to do is got to put Canelo under a lot of pressure and make it a dogfight. That's his only chance. I think if he can make the fight a dogfight and make it a tough, rough fight for Canelo, that's his only chance. He's not gonna beat Canelo if by boxing him. Yes, GGG has one of the best chin in the game, even at the twilight of GG's career. Yeah, he's got unbelievable chin. For a guy that walks forward and takes a lot of flush shots, not to be wobbled or not to be dropped, like that's unheard of, man. That guy's as tough as they come. He's as tough as they come. Naima says Bivol can't win. I think Canelo has improved massively. I don't know. I think Bivol's a really good fighter. He's a bit underrated. I think Bivol is a really, 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 really good fighter. So I'm not sure. I think Bivol can win. Are we putting Canelo on a pedestal where we're giving literally no one else a chance to win? I'm not sure. I honestly think that this is going to be a tough fight. This is going to be a very, very tough fight for Canelo. Spence should win against Ugas. So Spence should win, but Ugas is a very good Cuban skills. Yeah, Ugas has very good skills. He has a very, very, very good skills. He's good counter puncher. He's fast. He's got good hand speed, good footwork. He's a good fighter. The only way you stop Triple G is to the body. So Hey Jose, I think Hey Jose says Bivol. He thinks Bivol's gonna win. I think you said Bivol's gonna win. I saw your comment on my comment section. Yeah, man. I look. I won't be. Look, Bivol has got a chance. Canelo is the favorite in the fight, but Bivol has got a chance. Bivol is a very good fighter. There's no doubt about it. Bivol can really fight. But I think Canelo, with all his experience, will probably edge it out. I can't see Bivol dominating the fight. And I think if it's close, obviously Canelo will probably get the decision. Dave Martinez says, the only way you stop Triple G is to the body. Yeah. Even that's not going to be easy to do. Triple G is as tough as they come, man. He's so tough. Khan should retire. He's finished. Yeah, I'd agree. Amir Khan should retire. He shouldn't fight again. He's old and past it. And it's not the fighter he was, so he should retire. Yes, I agree. GGG won't go down even if you hit him with a sledgehammer. Yeah, you won't go down. That's why people love him, because he's so tough. He's so tough. Wilder retiring. I haven't heard anything about Wilder retiring. I think Wilder for me he's still got a lot left. I still think Wilder's a problem for a lot of guys. I think Wilder's a danger man. He's a danger man. I'd love to see him against Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz is fighting Tyrone Spong. So a fight with him and Deontay Wilder down the road will be a good one. I'd like to watch that. I'd like to watch that fight. So, Blessed Son said, "Are you going to watch the Taylor Amanda fight?" Yeah, of course. I'll watch that. I'll watch that fight. That's a good fight. I think Amanda Serrano wins. I just think she's the fresher fighter. I think she'll win the fight. But Taylor's a really good fighter as well. Katie Taylor's done good for things for British, for women's boxing period. She's been a star, So I think that's going to be a good fight. So Wilder and Hey Josie said Wilder and Joshua should finally fight after Usyk wins again. Lol. Yeah, I think they should. I think they should. I think that'd be a good fight. I think it'll be a big payday, and I think it'll be a good fight. Yeah, I'd like to see that fight. I think it's that one of the best fights that can be made in the heavyweight division, just because of how explosive the fight will be. I think it's a great fight. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that one. I think it's a good one. I definitely think it's a good fight. Smash the like button, everyone in the stream. If you can smash the like button, guys, I'd appreciate it. Smash that like button, guys, everyone in the stream. I think Canelo chin is just as good as GG. This is why I don't see a KO in there in all their fights. Yeah, I'd have to agree. They both got granite chins. Both of them have got really, really good chins. So it's going to be hard to. I don't think any of them get stopped. Usyk stops AJ this time. Yeah, I think so. I think Usyk probably does stop him, to be honest with you. I think Usyk's gonna put on the pressure. But again, Usyk's been through a lot, the war stuff. and apparently he's lost a lot of weight. So salute, Brendan. What's going on? So yeah, I think we've got to wait and see how Usyk looks, because, like I said, he's been through a lot lately. So maybe that evens things up a little bit for Joshua. Maybe it gives Joshua a better chance. What you think of Jaron Ennis? Jaron Ennis is a really good fighter, top fighter. He might be the best. He might be the best welterweight already. Some people say he's the best welterweight in the welterweight division already. That's how highly some people rate him. Jaron Ennis might be might be that dude already. He might be the best guy in the welterweight division, possibly already. So yeah, we've got to wait and see. Nobody really wants to fight Jaron Ennis because he's dangerous. And that's the issue Ennis is going to have, is that not many people want to get in the ring with him. And so it's going to be difficult for guys like Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman wanting to fight Jaron Ennis. So he's going to have to get himself in a mandatory position. Even Crawford and Spence, why would they want to fight Jaron Ennis? So he's going to have to get himself in a mandatory spot to get that shot. What's going on, Fight Gamer? He's a problem. Hi, Fight Gamer. I hope you're well. Naima says, Floyd Davis beef. Yes, not good, is it? It's not good. Floyd has done a lot for Davis, but Davis wants big fights. He wants big fights, and he's not getting those big fights. So yeah, Floyd's got to deliver, man. He's got to deliver, and he's not really delivered for Tank. Let's be brutally honest. He's not really delivered for Tank, has he? So yeah, he needs to deliver for Tank. Tank wants those big fights. What's going on, Makai? You good?
Yo, what's up? How are you?
All good, all good. How's it going? How's things?
Yeah, things are going well on my end. How about you?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. Just excited. We've got some big boxing coming up. Before we get into the weekend's boxing, I wanted to ask you about what do you make of like Canelo? What do you make of Canelo and his recent pictures? We haven't spoke recent pictures. You see him quite bulky. I think you said you were picking Bivol to win, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm still picking Bibble, but yeah, Canelo. He looks like he's in really good shape. I even saw an article of him. Yeah, he was in like some interview of him saying that he's in a vegan diet.
Yeah, yeah, he's doing vegan. Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
I'll close my window quick.
yeah.
Can you hear me better?
He's going. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, yeah. He's going vegan now, so apparently. But you know what? What do you make of that? What do you make of him going vegan and saying that he's feeling good?
Um, you know what? I'm not a fan of vegan diets. I feel you need meat. Okay, you need the meat and
Yeah,
everything. I mean, Josh Kelly. What was his trainer's name?
Adam Booth.
Anna Booth. Yeah, he'd always get his fighters on vegan diets,
Right.
and they'd always, it was with Kelly, yeah, because Timothy Bradley. I
Hmm.
remember him talking about saying it was the worst thing he's ever done. It made him feel like his stamina was a lot worse. It just made him feel very tired and everything. He gassed out a lot quicker. Like his body just didn't feel good. And with Josh Kelly, he'd always gas out, wouldn't he? After
Yeah,
like
yeah.
5 rounds, he apparently it makes your skin. Or what's the word? Like it makes him easier to bleed and everything, stuff like
Oh,
that. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of it, but I don't know.
yeah. You know what? Like a lot of people say you need meat and you need
Yeah.
that in, especially in a sport like boxing. But some people, I don't know. I don't know. You can still obtain full protein going vegan. Yeah, I don't know. It is that, I think Jamie Alvarez makes a good point. You can still obtain full protein going vegan, but I don't know. I think it's not that. I think apparently they say that when you go vegan, you don't feel as bloated.
Hmm.
Oh, Ronald's come in and he's stirred the pot. You can still add clenbuterol to vegan food.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. So in terms of it, do you think it's gonna weaken his performance against Bivol? Like
Um.
effect on his
Well, I mean, I've had Timothy Bradley literally tell you that his body felt very weird and everything. I don't remember like all the exact words he was saying, but I remember him saying like it was the worst thing he's ever done. You know,
mm,
I've just like seen a lot of people talk about it, and they use Josh Kelly as an example. Like he'd gas out very quickly. He'd make his I don't know the word for it, but like he'd always he'd
fatigued.
bleed more quicker and everything. Yeah, he'd fatigued, but like. Yeah, I don't know, man. I know it works different. It works different for people.
Yeah, I think. Look, I don't know. I'm not sure what I feel about vegan diet. Like, I don't think I could do it because I need meat and stuff. But
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, Canelo says he's feeling good. He's looking well. He looks big. He looks pretty strong to me. So yeah, and we need to wait and see how he looks in the ring. But there's a saying like you don't fix something that's not broken. You know.
Mm.
And Canelo was doing pretty well prior to that. So why did he need to change his diet? I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. But if he's saying it, he feels good,
Yeah.
then he might then go on and go for it. Because I mean, Bradley, he said he didn't feel good when he was in the middle of doing it. So
Mm,
it works. It works for different people, different body types and everything.
mm,
So yeah. So I mean, that's obvious anyway. Stuff like that can affect others, and it might not affect Canelo. So, but yeah, we'll see though.
yeah. So what do you make like so so in terms of the fights this weekend, Spence and Ugas, how do you see that one going?
I reckon it's going to be a very controversial decision. Um, let's just say Spence gets the win.
Mm,
You're going to get a half of people saying, they felt like Ugas won. It's going to be one of those kind of fights. It just depends what you like, really. Ugas, I feel it's going to be a very close fight. Errol's going to be using his distance a lot more, use his jab and his reach. Ugas, he will counter at times. He'll get his counter shots into the body, stuff like that. But Ugas, he tends to get a bit flat-footed. So, and I think we'll see Spence be a bit more active and stuff like that. I don't see it being like some all-out war. Like the Spence supporter fights. Fights like that. I think it's going to be a bit of a chess match. They're all
mm.
going to have their moments, but I feel Spence will just get a little bit more, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So what you going, Spence? I think
Yeah, so I'm
Spence
going to a
might win by a
decision.
split decision or something.
Yeah, it'll be one of them. They'll all have their moments, and it just depends what you like, really. Because a lot of
Yeah.
people they all score fights different. They all prefer different kind of things. So yeah, that's what I think. I think it'll be like a chess match, but I feel Spence will be a bit more active, and I think it might win in the fight. I think he'll land the cleaner punches, but Ugas he can counter very well, especially to the body.
Hmm. Yeah, I'd have to agree. I'd have to agree. I'm looking forward to it. Conor Ben's also fighting. How do you see that one going?
You know what? I'm keen with forgetting that Conor Ben's fine because of the Spence Ugas.
Mm,
I'm keen with forgetting about it. But I mean, Van Heerden. I mean, when was the last time he fought? Wasn't it against Boots?
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
2 years ago.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago, and then before that, and then after that, he just fought. And then he fought a year after that, just once, and then a year after that, just once, and then he had like 2 years off,
Mm,
and then obviously fought. Yeah, he's very inactive and everything,
yeah.
and he's not really that good anyway. So
Mm,
yeah, I see another Ben knockout.
mm. Do you know what? I ask you a question about. I didn't ask you about the question I wanted to ask you about Canelo. Do you think Canelo needs to knock out Bivol to win, or do you think he can get like? Obviously, we know that the judges at times, so Canelo's got a great chance if it does go to points as well, because he does get generally gets decisions, but. Do you think Canelo might need to knock him out, or do you think Bivol will be able to beat him in a way where he might be able to win quite comfortably on the scorecards? Do you think Canelo has to go for the knockout here? If it goes to points, maybe Bivol takes it.
Um, yeah, I feel Canelo will need a knockout. I mean, because I don't see Canelo actually getting in the inside as much as he was against guys like Plant, because Bill he really knows how to use his feet. He knows
Yeah,
how to use his distance. Like Canelo's going to be trying to come in, Bivol just going to be popping in with his jab, moving out. Like this is a fighter that really knows how to use his distance and everything. I think he's like levels above guys like Plant and Saunders.
Mm-hmm.
But I rate Bivol very highly. Not a lot of people do. But I mean, we don't know because this is going to be Bivol's first. Well, I mean, he's been in tough fights anyway with
Mm,
Smith and all that. But Canelo, he will bring other things to the table that he hasn't seen. And Canelo, he's very strong. He's very
mm.
strong too. I mean, not yeah, it's fairly obvious as well. So yeah, we'll see.
Do you think it's a case, right, because of the fact that he's good on his feet, right? And he's obviously big as well. Do you think
Mm.
his movement, his size, do you think all of that is going to be a huge problem for Canelo, or do you think like Tiafimo said that this Bivol is made for Canelo? Like the style is made like Bivol is a typical like Callum Smith type fighter where he puts his hands up and Canelo walks forward and he goes around the sides like he did with Smith. Or do you think Bivol's a lot better than that? Or do you
Yeah,
think a lot more
yeah.
skill?
Bivol's a lot better than that. The size, I don't. Bivol's not even that bigger than Canelo, really.
Mm,
When we saw him face off, but Bivol, as I said, he knows how to use his distance and everything. Yeah, but he's nothing like Callum Smith, if that's what Lopez was saying. Yeah, Callum Smith, he's flat-footed. He's not really. He's not really a guy who uses his distance well. He doesn't really use his jab or anything like
mm,
Bivol. Bivol uses his feet, but I can see what Tiafimo can mean, like with his hands up, just moving like in and out. He doesn't really use angles or anything, but
I
yeah,
think Callum Smith is more static on his feet, right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
more
Bivol's
static.
got better feet. Like his foot movement is much better, and he's more swifter. Like he moves better.
Yeah,
Callum Smith's a bit more static. Like Christian said, he's more like a statue.
yeah,
Whereas
yeah, I remember. Yeah,
Bivol's a mover. He's a
yeah,
better mover. So that's that. We know that movers at times can cause Canelo issues. But again, do you think Canelo's power is going to carry up to 175, where he could hit Bivol or something and just wipe him out like he did with Plant or Saunders?
yeah. I think he's power. I mean, in the Kovalev fight, his power was there. I mean, we saw. I mean, yeah, Kovalev wasn't really at his best or anything, especially when he had a fight like a couple of months before. He didn't really have good preparation and stuff like that. But
Mm.
Canelo's improved a lot more since then, so he's probably a lot more comfortable to go to 175. So yeah, his power will still be there, and I think I think he'll look just fine now. I don't think he's going to look as he did before there because he was a bit slow and everything. But he's just a bit more of a different fighter now, so I think he'll be fine there. But I just think Bibble is better.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. It's going to be interesting. It's good. So if for example Bivol wins, what do you think happens?
Uh oh well, there'll be a there'll be a rematch clause or something. There must be a rematch clause in there.
The
If Bibble wins,
hmm.
it must be.
Yeah, there would be. Yeah, there is a rematch. There is definitely a rematch clause. But do you think Canelo will take that rematch? For example, hypothetically, he loses.
Yeah, I think he will. I mean, well, we need to see how he look, but I don't think I see like Bibble knocking him out or anything. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think Canelo will. I mean, in the first Golovkin fight, obviously
Mm,
I thought Golovkin won quite clearly. Like he put Canelo on the back foot and everything,
mm,
and Canelo still rematched him, even though that was a really hard fight. And
mm.
yeah, he took the fight to him. So yeah, I think he will.
In terms of like the Golovkin fight, Canelo Golovkin, how do you see that one, man? The third trilogy. After if Canelo is successful, that's the next fight for Canelo Alvarez. So, what's your thoughts on that one? Is it a fight that you want to see? Is it a fight that you don't want to see? What did you make of Golovkin's performance against Murata? Do you think Golovkin's too old now? What do you make of that?
I I don't think Golovkin wins. I don't think he wins. But you know
Hmm,
what? Right. I think he might put. Up, I think he will put up a good fight still.
hmm,
I think he will.
hmm.
I think he looked. I think he looked good against Murata and everything. And he's Golovkin. He's gonna be a lot more motivated for this fight
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's we. I don't see Golovkin getting completely destroyed as some people. Quite a lot of people
So
think
yeah,
it.
some
Yeah.
people are saying that he shouldn't even take the fight, like it's dangerous, like Canelo will beat him badly. Do you see it like that or no?
Well, because obviously me and you both, we've seen Golovkin for years now and everything. We've
Yeah,
never seen him, get destroyed like that. He may be getting older, but it still just doesn't seem inevitable that that can happen.
yeah,
But I mean, we'll see if that happens or not. But I don't even think he looked bad against Mariah. Because we had a few people um, giving Golovkin stick for it and everything, saying he didn't really look that good and all that. But I thought he looked great.
yeah, yeah. Well, he had trouble early on in the fight, right? Murata was hitting him with shots, but then Golovkin came back and then wiped him out. But the problem is, it's like if Canelo's just might be too fast, too fresh for
Mm,
Golovkin at this point, because Golovkin's old now, so yeah, he might just be too young, too fresh, for Golovkin. But who knows? Who knows? Like it's an interesting one. It's an interesting, but I think Golovkin's owed that fight. Do you see what I mean? I think he's owed it. Like,
Oh yeah, definitely.
uh,
I mean, to be honest, I mean, if you look at the people, obviously, I thought Baturbiev
yeah,
deserves it more because obviously Gavod's thick and all that, and if
yeah,
he
yeah,
beats Smith. But
yeah,
Golovkin, I mean, right, obviously after he lost to Canelo,
yeah,
he beat Derenchenko to get the IBF belt, and then he's
yeah,
went to Japan to beat Murad to get the WBA belt. I mean, that's more deserving than all the others,
yeah,
really. And I mean, he gave Canelo two of his toughest fights, arguably won both. Like,
mm,
most people think that.
mm,
So I think he deserves it. And you know what, most people probably won't be excited yet, but on the fight week,
mm,
something like that, I reckon they will get excited. It was a bit like that with Kell Brook and Amir Khan for me. I wasn't
mm,
excited, and then
mm.
obviously we saw the press conferences. It was the fight week. I was hyped for it. So I think that's what it will do to the fans as well on the fight week for that fight.
Yeah, most likely, but it'll be good, man. It'll be good to.
Mm.
It'll be definitely good to watch that. What's going on, Miguel? You good, Miguel? I don't know what's going on with Miguel. He's not there. Yeah, he's struggling with his connection. But yeah, so yeah, man. I think the thing is with the thing is with the Golovkin fight. I think people they feel like Golovkin's got slower, and they don't
Mm.
feel like he's as quick as he used to be. So they feel like, yeah, they feel like Golovkin hasn't got much of a chance.
Mm. I mean,
Uh,
Golovkin's got a different style now as well, obviously with the new
yeah,
trainer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like that style or not? Do you think that he should just go
Um.
back?
Well, I mean, he's obviously what was his old trainers? Abel Sanchez.
Yeah, Sanchez. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, Sanchez. He was kind of turning him into a monster, really. A guy who's coming forward. I mean, yeah, he's not like a punching bag, but guy's coming forward using his power to get to him. Now he's more of a fighter that moves around a bit more. He's on his back foot. He uses his jab a lot more and stuff like that. So I
mm,
think it's good and bad. If you know what I mean. There's
mm,
certain parts that he does which is good, and then there's other parts which he does need and all that, which he does
mm.
need to use for his style. So yeah, it's a bit of that, but I mean, I think the style he's got now is gonna be fine. It'll give Canelo a good fight still.
Yeah. If Golovkin was to fight Bivol, how would you see that one going?
Golovkin was gonna fight Bibble. Yeah, I still think Bibble would win. Yeah, I think Bibble would win that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think Canelo and Bibble would beat Golovkin, but I've never thought about that fight, Bibble and Golovkin. You know what I mean? They're not because yeah, Bibble would be a bit bigger, of course,
Mm,
but I mean then Bibble's not really that big or anything.
no,
I
no,
think that
no.
would be yeah, I think that would actually
What
be
about
not
Prime Golovkin? What about Prime Golovkin against Bivol?
yeah, I'd say Prime Golovkin. I'd say
Yeah.
Prime Golovkin. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so what makes you think that you obviously picked Bivol to beat a Prime Canelo now? So
Yeah.
what makes you think about a Prime Golovkin that would beat Bivol? What does Prime Golovkin do that Canelo doesn't do?
He's just he's got that European style of fighting, that he knows how to use his jab and everything. He's better fundamentally.
Mm,
Um he's a lot more smarter than Canelo as well. Canelo's obviously better at certain things, but yeah, I just think Golovkin is the better boxer and everything. Obviously, especially in his prime, more powerful. Um, Hand speed, obviously, I'll give to someone like Canelo. Canelo's probably better to the body, but Golovkin's probably a lot more precise and everything. So yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's see if I can get Miguel back in. Back in. Um, Miguel, you there? Miguel? Miguel, you there? No. No, he's having trouble. Miguel's having trouble getting in. He's not being able to get in. But yeah, like some people in the comment section will disagree with you about Golovkin being a better boxer than Canelo.
I mean, I think he is. Do you think? Or do you think Canelo's a better boxer?
In what better boxer in what sense? What do you
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't really know. I wouldn't really know how to explain it, to be honest. Just like, I think Golovkin's a better boxer because he's got a better jab and everything. He's just got more. He's just better at certain things that I count to be the better boxer. Because you got, I mean, obviously Christian, for example, he likes the African American style. Usually, guys on the back foot, slick guys, yeah, stuff like that. So yeah.
I think Canelo's probably Canelo's probably the better overall. I think he's more complete because Canelo can do more things. I think if Golovkin was to stand off and box, I think he'd get beat by Canelo. But I think if Golovkin pressures Canelo, I think it'll always be a tough fight for Canelo. I always think that Golovkin would be a nightmare for him, irrespective of what. I just think it would be a horrible fight for Canelo all the time. Just because I think Golovkin's style would be horrible.
I mean, with Canelo, he's right now he's kind of like obviously he's coming forward, he's slipping through the punches, coming inside, destroying you to the body, just trying to kill you. Really, he's just a wrecking ball now, really. And then obviously Golovkin, obviously in his prime, he used his jab a lot more. Obviously, he cut the ring off a bit like what Canelo does as well. I mean, in a ways, they're similar. You know what I mean? They're kind of, because obviously a prime Golovkin, he'd also come forward, try and bully you, but Golovkin would use his I think he'd use his jab a lot more. He was a bit more precise with his punches. Yeah.
Fair enough. Miguel, you there? Miguel? Guys, if anyone else wants to come on, you're more than welcome. I don't think Miguel's connection is terrible, man. I don't know what's going off. He's not being able to come on. Yeah, so in terms of the Crawford fight, do you think Canelo will I mean, sorry, not Canelo, but Errol Spence and Crawford will be made after this?
I think when you asked me this before, I said no. I think, well, obviously seeing Spence, he's been asked it multiple times in interviews now. Really, yeah, he said he wants Crawford next. I mean, Ugas and Crawford, there he's going to be his last two fights, and then he's going to move up. And I mean, he seems a lot more confident now that the fight's going to happen because obviously Crawford's a free agent. So, I mean, I hope that fight happens. I mean, it was supposed to happen a long time ago, but I feel this is the last year of when it should happen. Because Crawford, I mean, isn't he like 34 now?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's something like 34. Yeah, so yeah, I think the time is right now to make the fight. Not Crawford versus Furman first, and then Spence. We need Crawford Spence.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you. D Money, what's going on? You good?
What's going on, bro? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. I can hear you. I wanted to ask you before we get into like the weekend fights. I wanted to ask you about Canelo's new vegan diet and how people think, whether you think that will be good or bad. Do you know what I mean? What's your take on this vegan diet, man?
I mean, yeah, you gotta be careful, man, with that vegan stuff. I mean, I feel like Canelo has the money to, make sure he's getting the right nutrition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you gotta really be careful. You gotta know what you're doing. You can't just, especially being an athlete and a physical one at that. You can't just, I'm gonna go vegan because I wanna, be healthy. Like, man, you have to be in like top physical shape. Like you got to be able to, crack. You got to be able to have stamina. I don't know, eating vegetables and fruit. I don't know, man. I don't think that's the best idea.
Yeah, yeah. In terms of like this fight, I think we spoke about it before. Um, how what do you think Bivol's going to try to do? Like a lot of people seem to be writing Bivol off, but what do you think Bivol has to do? What do you think Canelo has to do?
I don't know, man. I'm seeing like a lot of people saying that, Bivol, a lot of people are coming out the woods saying Bivol's for real. And like, once you study Bivol, this
Mm,
dude is legit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's legit. He is a top level fighter in his prime, and yeah, I think he's gonna do what he does to everybody. Like, when you look at the like Bevo's like you were kind of talking about, he's a smaller guy in the light heavyweight division. So he's used to people trying to come forward and crack him, come
mm,
forward, get inside, come forward, knock him out. He's used to that. Like, so he's used to that style. So he's just gonna be, playing that game, in and out, in and out. Like I'm in when you try to hit me, he'll back out, take 1 or 2 steps back. And then when he, that punch whips, he'll come back in and start hitting. So I think that's what he's gonna do. And Canelo's just gonna. I think Imran Canelo has a very similar opinion that you do of Bivol. Like he thinks that Bivol, he's better than Plant, but it's like the same type of slick boxer type of style. Like, do you really have power? Type of
mm.
thing. He's just gonna go in there. He's not gonna respect Bivol. He's just gonna walk him down, and he's just gonna hit him. And by the 8th round, 9th round, 10th round, when Bivol starts to slow down and he can, engage, and he becomes stationary, he's just going to get him out of there. That's what I think Canelo thinks, and that's what I think he's going to try to do. I just don't think that's going to work, man. Not against Bivol. I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be really tough. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Bivol and how tough this fight's gonna be. I think this is gonna be really really tough for Canelo. But I think Canelo's power. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think Canelo's power might get him out of jail. Just depends on how Bivol's able to soak up Canelo's punches, and also can Bivol make Canelo respect his power? Can
Hmm.
Bivol really make Canelo respect his power? That's a question mark for me. I don't know whether
Hmm.
he can, to be honest. That could be the difference between him winning and losing, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can he make Canelo respect his power? I don't know if he can. What do you think? Do you think he can?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, man. I mean, I don't think you can be in the light heavyweight division and not have a significant amount of power, especially be a champion and be the number 2 ranked guy up there. you know I don't really think you can do that. So yeah, I think so. And I don't know if you've seen his new train, like Bevo's recent training videos, but man, that dude, it's like some snap on them punches. Like I think this is gonna be like a whole like I don't know, man. I think this is gonna be a whole new test from what Canelo's been seeing. Like he hits way harder than anybody he's seen at 168, and I think he's gonna hit sharper than Kovalev. You know what I'm saying? Like Bevo's shots, I don't know, man. When you watch, even when I watch the fights, like them shots look like they hurt. Like he's not trying to knock you out, but it looks like it hurts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That might just be me, but it looks like those are some serious like shots. Like they're not like these little pity patter type of things that he's hitting you with.
Hmm.
So
Okay,
that's me,
so
though.
what do you make of the Spence Ugas fight?
Yeah, man. I think Spence got it. It's a great fight, and shout out to Spence for doing it. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great fight. I think it's gonna be a great fight. I got Spence. I know some people are taking Ugas, but yeah, this Spence is looking in prime, prime shape, prime shape.
Condition.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough though, isn't it? A lot of people are taking Ugas. Don't know what we're gonna get with Spence.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I feel
Don't
like
know
he
what
wants it,
Spence.
man.
Hey.
I feel like Spence wants it. Like he wants undisputed. Like he's looking for like glory, man. Big fish.
Yeah, that's it. Big fish, man. Big fish. My man CEO's in the house. What's going on, CEO? You good?
What's going on, brothers?
All good, man. All good. CEO, I'll drag you straight into it. Vegan diet, is it good for Canelo? Yes or no?
Whoa, I didn't hear you, brother. What'd you say?
Vegan diet for Canelo. Canelo's going vegan. for his
Uh,
overall fight? What do you make of the
there,
vegan diet?
there, there, there is good and there's negative for him. He's a pretty stocky guy, bro. So
Mm,
vegan diet, I don't think would suit him. But I mean, unless he's trying to shred weight
mm,
naturally, I think he's gonna lose power, man. He's gonna need protein and to carry over his strength. You know what I mean? But
mm,
I am not a nutritionist. I can't speak. I can just simply say that, the vegan diet I know worked for Timothy Bradley. He was a huge practitioner of that when he would try to cut weight. You know what I mean? He obviously used to look lean. We never missed weight. But
mm.
I don't know, man. I'm on the
But
fences.
Mackay was saying that Timothy Bradley said that he was struggling, man. He was feeling low on energy and he didn't feel good with that vegan
Yeah,
diet.
I remember. Yeah, I remember the interview. He said he didn't feel great at all when he was doing it.
I mean, again, to me, the vegan diet is one of those diets that I personally, I'm 40 years old and I stay healthy, but I just actively run.
Mm,
Uh, and I try to watch what I eat. Obviously, it's all about your macros and your
mm.
protein and your carbohydrate intake. But as a runner, you need high carbs. If I was a professional athlete and I was trying to make weight, yeah, I definitely wouldn't go the vegan route. That's not the healthiest. Just saying, you know what I mean? That's just my point of view. I don't think it's good for him, but
You still here?
if it's gonna do, yeah, I believe if he's gonna do the vegan diet, well, more power to him. Hopefully, it doesn't tire him out.
There's different body
Yeah.
types and everything, so
Yeah.
it might not affect Canelo like it affect others. We don't know, but I hope it don't affect Canelo because I want to see the best version.
Also, guys, what do you make of the Golovkin? Golovkin beat Murata Asito, and a lot of people don't want to see now the trilogy. They think Golovkin's too old and he's finished and he's past it. What do you think?
I don't personally want to see the trilogy again. I'm like, there's nothing there anymore. What's Golovkin going to do? Is he going to go up to 168? I
Yeah.
think it'll be. I think it's just going to be, or if they do meet at 168, I think it's just going to be a repetition of like Golovkin versus Canelo Part Two. You know what I mean? Age
Mm,
isn't something that determines Golovkin. I think Golovkin is one of those rare beasts that's just naturally a, a healthy specimen versus like
mm,
most 40-year-olds fade out. Like, yeah, is he the Golovkin of old? No, but has he shown any wear and tear? Not really, man. The guy punished freaking Murata. You know what I
mm,
mean? Murata gave up some good rounds where he was like holding his ground down, but come on, man. Triple G hasn't lost a beat when it came down to his power. Speed wise, yeah, he did lose, but the guy's got a freaking granite chin, man. I just think it's gonna go all 12 rounds. No one's gonna get knocked out. Canelo's gonna take it by a decision. And it's gonna be the same thing. Look, every boxer has their Moriarty or their arch nemesis that's gonna equalize everything. Canelo, you had, I mean, sorry, Marquez, Pacquiao. Pacquiao had Marquez. Mayweather, Marcos Maidana. Even though he technically beat him soundly in the second fight, but he gave him that. Oscar De La Hoya's nemesis was uh, Floyd Mayweather. I mean, everybody has it, man. So for Canelo, his arch nemesis is always going to be Triple G. They're equals. You know what I mean?
mm. So do you think it's always going to be a tough fight, regardless of age or whatever? Because a lot of people think that Canelo will stop him this time.
I mean, I would be impressed if he stopped him, but then you're going to have the criticism of those who are going to be like, see, he cherry picked a 40-year-old Golovkin. That Golovkin is this, that Canelo is that. Like, they're never going to stop bashing Canelo because of his accolades and what he brings to the table and what he's done. They're just going to find another excuse to just crap on the man's progress. And it's just going to be a repetitive cycle of just hatred towards Canelo, man. No matter what Canelo does, he will never get his just dues. Look, I guarantee you this. I think in the last live stream I talked to you about this. Had he picked Jamal Charlo and man just beaten the dog crap out of him, let's just say he would have not knocked him up, but taken him all 12 rounds, but beaten the dog crap out of him, they would have said he was a cherry pick. Have he fought Benavidez and he beat Benavidez? Oh, Benavidez is too green. Oh, Benavidez was too weight drained. They're always gonna have something to say, man.
Mm,
No one's ever gonna like honor or like say, hey, you know what? Canelo proved that he's faced fierce competition. He's improved, or he's done. X amount of things. He became undisputed at 160. No, man, they're always gonna bash the guy. So at this point, I'm just already over it, and I'm numb to the fact that you know what, people are just gonna talk. Let them be, man. I'm a fan of Canelo. Will I judge him if he does something that I don't agree with? Yes, of course. I'm human, but you know what I mean. I'm a fan of a lot of different fighters, not just
Mm,
one.
Yeah,
mm,
I don't agree with that, man. I don't agree with that. I know a lot of Canelo fans have that, but I don't agree with that at all. That the stigma that Canelo's always going to get blamed. I think he posted something on his story. He's never going to get the credit. Everybody's been calling for him to fight Charlo for years and years, because he's in the middleweight division. He has a belt. Him and Andre, they're in the middleweight division. You're the best pound per pound fighter, quote unquote. Then go ahead and go for undisputed. Go, if they're so bad, then go ahead and knock Andrade out. Go ahead and knock Charlo out. Take their belts. You beat Triple G. You'd have been undisputed at 160 in a premier division in boxing. But no, you went up and you became undisputed at 168 and didn't fight the guy who was the best person at 168. So there's not this whole thing. If he would have beat Charlo, picked Charlo and them and beat Charlo and then beat Benavidez, nobody would have had a problem with that. Nobody said, "Oh, he's a cherry," nobody would have.
I got one thing that's gonna be my rebuttal to you. Okay, with all due respect, who have those two fighters? Who have they fought? Compare resumes. Let's use logic here. Who has Canelo fought and defeated, or even one controversial? I'll even give you that. And who has Jamal Charlo and Benavidez fought? If you're gonna tell me your only name you're gonna throw that Charlo defeated soundly is what's that other Ukrainian fighter that he beat? I can't even
Davianchenko.
remember. Yeah, yeah, he beat him soundly. I'll give you that. That's the only argument. But compare resumes with Canelo, compare them with Charlo, and compare with Benavidez. Who the hell have they fought and defeated?
Okay, and this is for all the Canelo fans out there.
That,
This is the
that's
only
all. That's all.
rebuttal. Yeah. No. But watch this. Who the heck has Caleb Plant fought? Who the heck has Billy Joe Saunders fought? Who the heck have these guys that they get a fight with Canelo? Who have they fought? Nobody. So you can't throw that at Charlo and Andrade. They haven't fought nobody because nobody else has fought anybody either. So
Okay, but Plant was a legitimate champion. But here's my counter argument, and I'm going to use logic with you. This is how you know how it is.
Your voice is cutting off. Your voice is cutting off. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's like it's not clear. You were clear at the start, then it kind of, I don't know, your signal's a bit weak. What's going off? Is it
I have no idea. No, I got signal.
That might be his mic.
Yeah, is it your mic? Is it your mic? Check your mic.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Yeah, go on, D. Carry on with what you were saying.
Yeah, no, man. I'm just saying, everybody always says that about, but Canelo's fighting dudes that haven't fought anybody either. So what do we, you can't use dudes that are obviously eye tests like they're better. Like these dudes are dangerous, tough fighters, but they haven't fought nobody, so they don't deserve a fight with Canelo. But then Canelo can fight dudes that haven't fought anybody and that are way weaker competition. And everybody knows Canelo's going to beat them. It's not a discussion or a debate, but they deserve a fight with Canelo.
Okay, gentlemen, can you guys hear me pretty good?
It's still a bit like go on, speak.
No, I just want to try it. So can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, it's
here. Let me try. Let me try to relog back in.
Yeah, relog back in. Yeah.
And for everybody in the chat talking about their champions, come on, and all this stuff, so are Andrade and Charlo. What are we talking about?
Yeah. I can see what you mean. They're definitely. I don't like it when. So I'm a Canelo fan too. I like him, but I don't like it when they say, "Oh, who has Charlo, who has Andrade fought?" Because obviously Canelo's also fought guys who didn't fight anybody. But obviously, to your Andrade question, that he could have became undisputed. He did actually try and fight Andrade, but obviously we all know what happened there.
I don't know because I saw the report he had declined like 60 million to fight Andrade. So I don't know what are you saying?
Yeah. No, well, when his IBF belt got taken away, he was supposed to fight Derevyanchenko. De La Hoya, obviously, basically went behind his back and done an agreement with the IBF that Canelo has to sign within 12 days. If he don't, then he loses the belt, and Canelo didn't know about that. And obviously, 12 days went by. Then he lost the belt, so he didn't need to become an undisputed, but he still tried fighting Andrade. but then obviously Kovalev came through. Obviously, if Canelo fought Andrade, he still won't be undisputed. He won't really, let's be honest, he won't really get a lot of credit. Andrade, right after Canelo beat Andrade would be a nobody. No one should give him credit for that. But we would have got Kovalev, a bigger legacy fight. He could have became he was going to become the first 4 division champ from Mexico. And obviously in Kovalev, he's already proven that he's a great fighter with the names he's beaten and everything. So he went for that fight instead.
Yeah, I can respect that.
Yeah, but
you know,
obviously when people say he hasn't fought nobody, yeah, that's not right. They shouldn't be saying that.
Andre getting on the video. All I know is if this was Mike Tyson, if I'm, whatever, if I'm that guy and some guy that's a champion in my division gets on and calls me a B, disrespects me and says that I'm scared to fight him, bro, you're fighting me the next fight and you're getting knocked out. And that's it. that's all we have to talk about. Like, there's nothing. I'm not vacating a belt, because of stuff with my promotion. And then now, and then I'm never coming back to fight you again. Like, and then I'm gonna call you a horrible fighter. When you show up to my press conference to call me out, I'm gonna just say you're a horrible fighter. I'm never gonna fight you. Like, I don't know.
I mean, he doesn't exactly need to fight Andre now.
Well, no, he doesn't have to fight now, but
he never did. There's definitely better fighters. There's definitely better fighters that he can beat. But obviously, I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right, one sec. Phil's. One second, guys. 1 second. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. 1 second. Give me a sec.
Yeah, but I'll just say this while Imran's coming on. If Canelo, and I'll probably have to say it again for the Canelo fan in here, but if Canelo goes and he beats who's that? He beats Better BF, becomes undisputed at 175, beats Golovkin, takes that 160 belt if he does it at 160, takes that 160 belt, and then goes undisputed for 162. There will be nothing. There will be nothing that anybody in the world could say against Canelo. Not a thing. Not a single word. Because that's a different level of status. You can't say nothing about it.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I don't think Canelo's ever going to go to 160 ever again. I mean, yeah, that guy, yeah, he struggled to make that.
But would you go for undisputed at 160?
Well, I mean, the amount of fights he obviously if he beat, because obviously when Golovkin moves up, he'll vacate the IBF and the WBA. I think. I don't know. We don't know yet, but then he'll have to beat Andre. Well, Andre, I don't even know if he's staying at 160.
No, yeah, he's at 168 now, so he wouldn't.
Yeah, I was about to say
he's going to be his mandatory if he beats Zach Parker, and obviously then we'll see. There. I mean, who knows what Canelo will do? But if he does vacate that WBO belt and then fights someone at 168, so just like another defense, then yeah, it's definitely that's definitely a duck for me.
So, Cito, you were having your point with D. You were talking. Let's get back to that. You were saying that who were they for? Yeah, go on.
No, I was just gonna simply say, like, look, this is for D on one thing. Here you go. When it comes down to Charlo, I don't bash the guy. He's a hell of a fighter, man. I like him. I like both the brothers, actually. But he hasn't come up to 168. When he's at 160 right now, he's a WBC champion. Why is it that he has avoided over and over again to fight Demetrius Andrade? Why? He was talking all that crap that he's going to step up to a good fight. Why didn't he fight, what's his name, Benavidez at 68? Why? They're on the same banner.
Man.
Why hasn't he fought? Why is it that he didn't fight Caleb Plant? They're all amongst the same promotion. No excuse, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where I come from in Chicago, and I'm pretty sure anywhere in the world, if you talk a lot of crap, back that shit up, man. So why is it? Why is it that he hasn't fought Andrade? Andrade's been chasing after him. As a matter of fact, what's old boy's name? The one that fought Canelo at 160. What the
Jacobs.
Danny Jacobs called him out too. Why hasn't he fought him? And he's under PBC.
Yeah. So yeah, to me, Charlo's he's ducking Andre too. A lot of people duck Andre, but this is what I'm gonna say about all Canelo fans. anytime that rebuttal comes up about you guys just saying, "Oh, who have they fought?" and then
I'm not
then
I'm not a major Canelo fan either, bro. I like the
well,
guy.
this is the thing.
I respect every fighter. I'm a huge
Yeah, yeah,
Mayweather
yeah.
fan. Huge
Who the heck
Mayweather
is
fan.
talking about? Who the heck is talking about Charlo? Like, we don't care about.
No. I'm just bringing them up to you just because again,
Yeah, no, I don't care.
that's where I'm saying your argument is flawed in that sense. Who has he fought though, man? Who has he
No,
fought?
bro, because who has Caleb Plant fought?
He had the belt. That's why Canelo went after him
Bro,
to be
Andre and
undisputed.
Charlo had the belt at 160. He was a man. Andre was a mandatory.
Didn't they strip Canelo because of a legal issue that was going on with the IBF? Wasn't that more Golden Boy's fault?
No, man, he vacated, man. And I think who is it? Makai? Did you say the whole situation how that went down? That if that's how that went down, I don't think that's how that went down. But yeah, he vacated, man.
They stripped him of the IBF because I know Derevchenko was his mandatory next. And I remember he had some legal issue with Golden Boy Promotions and with someone else regarding, I think it was All Star Promotions. And that's why he vacated, dude. Because that's why you think he went up to 168. I don't think it
No,
was because he
bro,
was
it
avoiding
ain't
Charlo.
promotion, bro. When two fighters want to fight, they fight, bro. And Canelo is the one guy in
True.
boxing that could fight anybody, bro. He could go up and tell Tyson Fury he wants to fight him, and Tyson Fury would say yes. Like it doesn't matter, bro. Like he could fight anybody that he wants to fight. You know.
I'll give you that. I'm not counter arguing you on that one, but I'm just gonna simply say your argument is flawed with me when it comes down to Charlo. Charlo hasn't fought nobody, bro. That's it.
Man, you keep
That,
saying that the Caleb Plant hasn't fought nobody. Then you said he
but
had a
he was
belt.
a champ.
Charlo has a belt.
But he had a belt at 168 to become undisputed, man.
So did Charlo and Andre. They
No,
No,
still
Charlo
had
didn't
Charlo
have
it.
a
was
belt.
given. No,
He didn't have
no,
a belt.
Charlo. No.
No, Charlo didn't have
Andre
it.
did.
Canelo gave him that belt. He gave him
Yeah,
that
yeah,
belt.
yeah,
He
yeah,
didn't
yeah, yeah,
earn it.
yeah.
He didn't earn it. Let's not get two things squared away, man. And let's not get it mixed up. He
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
earn
yeah.
that
But now that
WBC
he
belt.
has it, now that he has
Who
it,
did
now
who
that he
did
had
who
it,
did who did Charlo beat to get? Actually, no, a serious question.
Nobody. Nobody.
Charlo didn't fight anyone for the WBC belt. Didn't he just get Canelo got made
What?
franchise champion,
Yeah,
and
and
then
he moved up
right,
to
Charlo just got
68,
made.
and
right.
Yeah,
Charlo was gifted a belt, meaning he didn't go after anybody and beat someone, right?
no. Like
Oh,
I know Andrade was gonna fight Billy Joe for the was it the WBO belt? He was gonna fight him for the WBO belt. Then Billy Joe failed pop, for that test. He popped dirty,
yeah, and
and
that's why
then
he went up to 68.
he got stripped, and then Andrade fought for the vacant title against that guy. I forgot his name eludes me, but yeah, he fought him for that guy. So at least I know Andrade fought a weak guy for the belt, but at least he fought somebody. Charlo didn't even fight anybody for it. But the main thing is this. Like, here's the problem I have. Fair enough. Like, I think Canelo needs to fight all of them by the end of his career. Hopefully, he fights Andrade. Hopefully, he fights Charlo. But in the meantime, what are these guys doing with their own legacy? Like, are they just gonna wait their time for the Canelo fight? Are they not gonna fight each other? It's not good because as boxing fans, it's no good because I want to see them. I want to see the best fight the best. And Charlo and Andrade are two American middleweight undefeated champions that have not fought anybody. They're not
And
fought
I got, I
themselves.
got,
I wanted to see Andre fight that
Imran,
Yanabet. I was
yeah,
looking forward to that fight.
I got one more thing for D. Hey man,
Yeah, go on.
since you're such a big fan of your boy Charlo, right now since Canelo didn't pick him, why didn't he pick a killer? Since you say he's such a killer, why didn't he fight somebody? Who's he fighting? A fighter that hasn't fought in 2 years? You're absolutely
Bro,
right, man. The
when did I
guy's
say I
a
was a
beast.
Charlo fan? What you
Well,
mean? When did I say that?
you're defending the guy like you're like such a big follower of his. Like I said, he's
No,
such a killer. Why is he fighting a washed-up fighter who hasn't been active in the last 2 years?
bro. I will say it again.
That's your golden
I
opportunity,
am
buddy.
not. I am not a Charlo fan. Like I
Okay.
don't like Charlo's a duck. Like he won't fight Andre, and I think he's really like ruining his career right now because you won't fight Andre, and now you're just fighting these random. I agree with you 100%. Like I said, I was never talking about Charlo. The only reason he came up was because you said, "Oh well, who has he fought? Who has he fought?"
Yeah, because
Because
that's my point. That's my point in case, bro. He didn't fight nobody.
yeah, but you can't
Derevchenko
use
was the
that
only one.
excuse for Canelo not fighting him because
And
Canelo fights people who don't fight nobody.
didn't Korobov an unknown middleweight almost damn near beat him? Didn't they rob him of that fight? To the most skeptical person on the planet, they'll tell you that he lost that fight too.
Yeah. Canelo has some of those too, but it doesn't matter
Yeah,
because
you're
like I said,
absolutely right. You're
he's
absolutely right. I
trying
think
to
he
defend
almost
Charlo.
lost. I think he almost lost against Lara. I think he should have lost against a couple fighters. Absolutely, he was gifted some victories.
Yeah. So I don't get it.
So Christian, you've been hearing this. What's going on? I hope you're good. Firstly,
Hey, what's up? I'm just working, but I just want to chime in real quickly.
yeah,
Want to bring up about what happened with Canelo and the IBF. You
yeah,
know, a lot of people, they don't know what happened chronologically. And I'm going to go through it very slowly. Canelo fought Daniel Jacobs on May 5th, 2019. After he won the fight in the post press conference, he said he wanted to be undisputed. At that point, he had all three belts. Andrew had the last belt. The following month, Canelo dropped the WBC belt. He destroyed Undisputed right there because now he no longer had the WBC belt. He had a fake franchise belt. But once he had all three belts, Canelo knew or should have known that he had a window in which he had to petition the IBF to block any purse bids for a mandatory obligation so he can fight Andrade in a unification. The IBF rules are clear. In this case, Canelo had a 60-day window to tell his lawyers and his agent, file the petition. He didn't file the petition. So what happened? I believe it was in late July, after the notice of the purse bid went out. It looks like he might be stuck fighting Derevyanchenko. Then he petitions the IBF after the notice of the purse bid went out, in violation of the IBF rules. The IBF denied the petition because it was untimely. So we go back, at the end of the day, this was Canelo's fault. Because if he really wanted that fight, he would have told his agent immediately after the Jacobs fight, file the petition immediately to block any potential purse bids for a mandatory obligation so that I can make undisputed with Andrade. He didn't do it. So Canelo said one thing on May 5th, but everything he did after the fact contradicted what he said. He said he wanted to be undisputed, but his actions were not consistent with what he said. Those are the facts. If this was a court of law and I had to litigate this issue to a jury to prove that he ducked undisputed, I'll take that case 10 out of 10 times. Case closed. Have a good day, fellas.
You should have been a lawyer, bro.
No, I am a lawyer.
Oh,
All right.
well, there you go. There you go. Hey, man.
Take care. All right, bye-bye.
I should have used you for certain things. Well, there you go. All right, so I learned something new today.
yeah. So like, yeah. What do you? I know a lot of people have different. But Christian made the point. What do you guys think of what Christian just said there? Like,
Well, I mean, he completely forgot about what De La Hoya said.
Hey,
he completely forgot about what De La Hoya did. He signed an
completely
agreement with the De La Hoya signed an agreement with the IBF.
yeah.
About if Canelo doesn't Canelo needs to sign
Yeah.
a deal with Derevyanchenko.
Yeah.
In 12 days, if they don't, then he gets stripped.
Right.
And this is obviously after Derevyanchenko wanted a lot more money, and things weren't working out. And then obviously Canelo, he had to vacate his belt, but he didn't mention that. So it's not facts, as you keep on saying.
Yeah, I don't know how that makes a lot of sense. Like if Canelo says he wants to go undisputed, and De La Hoya's always pushed for him to fight, you know, the most dangerous guys and stuff like that. He's never been, Canelo needs to cherry pick. Like he's been very critical of Canelo. Like why all of a sudden would he say, don't fight Andrade for undisputed. Instead, sign to fight Derevyanchenko in 12 days. Why would he do that?
No, but here's the thing. What are we saying? So what are we saying? Are we saying then that Canelo intentionally avoided the undisputed fight? But that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, so if we're saying Canelo didn't fight Andrade because he petitioned or whatever, he didn't do it in the time frame that he needed to do it. So are we saying that Canelo is scared of Andrade then, and that's why he didn't take that fight?
No,
why would he turn down a unification fight, undisputed fight? So that is what I'm trying to say. So when we say that he's not fighting Andrade for undisputed, what's the point behind it? Are we trying to say that he's doing it because he's scared he'll lose?
And this is we can title this video Canelo ducked, proven. He ducked Andrade. It doesn't have to be this whole thing. He ducked him. That's what happened. Yes, Imran. It wasn't that I don't think Canelo's like, oh, I can't beat Andrade. Andrade's so much better than me. But Andrade is a tricky fighter. He's a really tricky fighter that, like, at the time, and he's not a lot of reward. Like you said, if he beats Andre, nobody's going to be like, oh my gosh, Canelo's the greatest fighter ever. But at the
Mm,
same time, if he loses to Andre in some
mm.
tricky nonsense, because Andre's not engaging with him, he's just pot shotting him and hitting him with these shots and stuff, then it's going to look really bad for Canelo. And obviously, he wants to be like the new, the golden boy. So that just wouldn't make a lot of sense to fight Andre. However, yes, he ducked him. Whatever the reason behind it, he ducked him. And that's why I think he did it, because it's not a lot of reward. It was a big risk, not a lot of rewards, and Andre's very tricky, and he's black.
I've already. Well, did you say because he's black?
Well, because Eddie Reynoso has said, black fighter styles is those are difficult styles. Like, that's not an easy fight. Like, that's not easy. Andre's style is not easy. That's figuring that out and coming in there with a game. Like, that's not an easy thing to do. And Andre could catch you with some stuff like you just never
But
see
here's the
coming.
thing, D-Money, let me ask you a question. Like Eddie Reynoso, I've seen him say that as well. But what's the color of the skin got to do with there's probably white
Yeah,
fighters that are really slick, like Cages, for
yeah.
example.
That's why I was rolling my eyes. I'm like, what does skin have anything
No,
to
no,
do
no,
with
Yeah,
no,
I
no,
know.
no.
I
It's,
don't really
yeah,
understand
yeah,
that,
yeah.
man.
Because Eddie Reynoso said that like black
No, no,
fighters
no.
are
I'm
like
not. I'm
capable
not.
of
I'm not
different
disagreeing.
styles.
I'm not saying you said it. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I'm asking
Oh,
you about Eddie Reynoso. Like, why is Eddie Reynoso saying that? Do you know what I mean? Like, even white fighters can be slick.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know?
I don't know. Maybe Eddie Reynoso, coming up,
He probably saw that
maybe
as
he just seen that.
The American style of
Yeah,
boxing
yeah.
has always been known for. Well, I'm not saying just that. The European style is pretty dope too. Just the stylistically, a lot of American
Hmm.
black fighters, like for example, Philadelphians. They're known for look at how many their history in boxing. Fighters that come from New York, whether they're Puerto Rican and black, or
Mm.
here in Chicago, we have a bunch of fighters that have came up. They're just known for being rough and tough. That's probably what he was referring to. Like the American black fighter has always been known to be rugged and come forward and be slick. That's what he's
Yeah.
probably
That's
meaning.
that, and that's all I was saying too.
That's
I
what I'm
don't.
gonna
It
take.
ain't
That's what I'm
like
gonna take it as.
Canelo's
I'm gonna take
racist
it.
or nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. No. 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 I know. D Money. I know you're not saying it in a race. I was just asking, like, in the sense that because obviously, you know what? Someone's saying Nelson's saying that obviously he didn't say that. He spoke in Spanish, which doesn't get translated right, which may be the case as well. I think sometimes in translation, but I feel like Canelo, like, let's be honest, Bivol is white, for example, right? And
Hmm.
he's got a similar slick style that people think is going to cause Canelo trouble as well, right?
Hmm.
So I don't really like. I think like when we bring in like and I've seen Crawford say this. I've seen other fighters say this that Canelo avoids American black fighters. I just don't like that because I think you're bringing race into something that is no need to bring race. Like say that he just avoids slick fighters. Then I'm all right with that. But I don't know. Like I feel like that becomes a bit. I feel like it's a very dangerous road to go down because like I don't know. I don't know. It's just a
Imran,
dangerous road to go down
was
because
you
he's
about to
fought
say
black
it's
fighters before. Do you know what I mean? He's fought black fighters before. You know what I mean? So like I don't know. I feel like there's a racial tone to it, and it just seems a bit. I know what you're saying, D Money, but I don't know. I don't know when like when Eddie Reynoso saying. I just don't know. It's a bit of a dangerous thin line, going down like that because I don't know. I just don't like. I don't personally like bringing race into it. Do you know what I mean? Like even when Devin Haney said something about Lomachenko, I felt nah, man, that's uncle. Didn't Devin Haney say that I would never let a white guy beat me or something? I just
Yeah, he
don't think
said.
this. Yeah,
No, I agree with you because this that everything you said. Devin Haney said he would never let a white boy beat him like that. I'm just like, I love David Haney, man. I just think that's the problem with a lot of sports, man, or even with boxing. Like everybody's like hitting on pride. Like for example, Imran, you know me. I'm mixed. I'm
yeah,
Filipino and Mexican,
yeah, yeah,
and I my great one of my greatest fighters that I loved that I like idolized was Muhammad Ali. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
I idolized him for what he is. I'm like I was telling D Money. I'm a huge Floyd Mayweather fan. I've been following him since he was coming up in the amateurs. I'm 40 years old. Trust
yeah.
me, I'm in Illinois. He was up there in Michigan. I used to know him back when he fought in the Chicago Golden Gloves. Like I've seen him. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So yeah, you're right, man. When people start talking about like they'll race bait that narrative, I'm not a big fan of that.
I've got a boxing group, Cito, and in that boxing group, right, um, I got accused of being racist. Apparently, because I said Canelo. has had a better career than Andre Ward, and Canelo, and the fact that I think Golovkin would beat Charlo and Andre, this guy, started coming on to me and started saying that I'm racist and stuff, and I'm always downplaying black fighters. And then I said to him, mate, I also said that Ali was the greatest sportsman of all time. What color of his? What was his color of his skin? People are very selective in when they get you, but like
I'm
me
like, aren't
thinking
you? I'm like,
Golovkin,
aren't you a brown man? Like,
yeah,
for real?
yeah, I'm a colored
That
man.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I'm like, I know your cultural history, your historical roots. I'm like,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
the subcontinent comes from really light skin to as black as midnight over there.
But the
And I'm
thing is,
like,
people. Here's
like
the
that's
thing: people
interesting.
always say you're not. But here's the thing: I've argued that before. Like, but then they'll say, "Oh, but you're not. You're not black." Do you know what I mean? But
People are real ignorant about the continent, or should I say the
yeah,
subcontinent of India, because in
yeah,
parts of the Indian subcontinent where Pakistan's at, there's
yeah,
people just like where I'm from in the Philippines. There's people who are black, like black
yeah,
as
yeah,
tar,
yeah, yeah,
and guess what?
yeah,
They're Filipino, and just like
yeah, yeah,
in your continent, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, you're
yeah,
from
yeah,
the UK, but your heritage. There's
yeah,
people
yeah,
who
yeah,
are black as tar out there, and
yeah,
you're
yeah,
just Indian.
exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're
So
idiots.
I don't know why people bring like I never ever look at a fighter and think he's black. So
Because
like or he's
because
white
a
or like.
person is arguing with you based on emotion, not on logic or facts. That's
Yeah,
why.
I get it. I get it. I get. You know what it is. You know what it is. There's a lot of people that feel upset that they feel that, when you're emotionally attached to somebody, right? And
Yeah.
you see people ripping them, like it hurts you, innit? So you want to get back, and the easy way is to bring in race and say the reason why you're hating on these guys is because he's black or he's because of these from this cult background. Um, but like I said, man, like I said, for me, I've lobbied for Andrade, man. I've said I like Charlo many times. I've said I like Charlo. I actually think Charlo's a very dangerous fight for Andrade. I think Charlo is I think personally Charlo Canelo might be the biggest fight for Canelo financially, possibly. Like from a popularity and from a standpoint, it might be the biggest fight. It'd be a massive fight, but the thing is, I'm also a bit. I'm also like, as a fan, D Money. I just want to see Charlo and Andrade fight top guys because I'm getting irritated now, man. Like it's got to a point where you just know whenever Charlo and here's the thing, D Money. When was the last time you were excited for a Charlo or Andrade fight?
This recent one with Parker for Andre, but yeah, I get your point.
Are you excited about that? Are you
I'm a
excited?
little bit. I'm a little bit. I mean, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Parker's. I haven't had a lot of time to watch because I mean, these past like 4, hasn't had a lot of time to really be able to see him as a fighter or whatever. But if Andre goes up to 168, knocks out the number one contender, then fights David Benavidez, and beats Benavidez. That would be huge for his career. Huge.
Oh yeah,
And,
I'm gonna
Oh
D
yeah,
Money.
for sure.
D Money. I'm gonna agree with you on one thing. That I think I had this conversation with you, Imran. I just think honestly, the people who were managing or handling Demetrius Andrade's career in the past, man, they weren't doing a real good job with him. You know what I mean? And trust me, I love Andrade's style of fighting, man. He's a natural orthodox fighter who turns southpaw. Who's slick, man. He's a slick fighter. I would love to see him now that he's signing on with PBC. I think I would love to see him like fight a big name. To be honest with you.
Yeah, but I get you,
Yeah.
Emron. But Emron, you got to keep that same energy for Golovkin though, because Golovkin's in that division too, and he's had nothing but time to fight Charlo and Andre. Andre's
Yeah. I'd
True.
agree.
This is true. This is true. We
energy.
snooze on that. We snooze on that one.
I'd agree
Yeah.
with that. I'd agree with that. You know what?
We
I have in the past. I have given Golovkin a pass because of his age. But to be honest, I think Golovkin has kind of docked them two fights as well. Really, when you think about it, he should have fought one. He should have at least fought Andre. Do you know what I mean? Because they're in the same stable, kind of thing with Matchroom, and
I
he's
disagree
kind of
with that.
avoided that fight. So. I look. I think Golovkin, and plus Golovkin's resume is not that strong. Let's be brutally honest. Golovkin hasn't fought a lot of top guys. He's only fought what Canelo, Jacobs. What we're not going to bring
Derevyanchenko.
Brook, Derevyanchenko.
And Derevyanchenko was close.
We're not going to say Brook, are we? He's a welterweight. So
Yeah, he went up to
he's not
class.
really fought. He's not really fought a lot of. He's not really fought a lot of top tier guys. You'd say if he was to fight Andre, you could make an argument that would be his second or maybe his biggest win because he never beat Canelo,
Yeah,
right?
didn't Triple G also avoid Sergio Martinez at the time before he like was retired?
No, Sergio Martinez ducked him.
Oh, was it? I always thought it was the opposite.
No. Golovkin was chasing that fight.
Yeah,
Golovkin, he couldn't get the right. We're back in his prime. He couldn't get the top guys, but he still fought good guys in the top 10. You know, like guys like Murray. He still did beat good guys.
He fought against Willie Monroe, even though he's like a B tiered fighter, but he's still a good fighter. He knocked him out.
Yeah, Willie Monroe's not bad either. Destroyed him, but with the whole Golovkin, ducking Andre and Charlo thing, I don't agree with that because I mean Golovkin in the latest interview before the Murata fight, he actually got asked about those two guys. He says he would love to fight them, but all he sees is them just calling him out, but nothing's actually happening. They're not actually trying to fight him. They're just talking. This is what they do. They just say, "Oh, I want Golovkin," but they don't actually try and make the fight happen. It's just them talking.
That's the thing. That's the thing we don't know at the back scene. So
Yeah.
Makai might be right. How do we know that there's pursuit? We don't know. Is there a fight ever been offered to Golovkin?
I mean, for them to be on the same promotion and Andre been begging for a top fight, and to say that Eddie Hearn just refuses to send Golovkin an offer, I just find it very hard to believe. I really do.
But we've never heard.
Right, it's a bit like this though. And
we heard we've heard that Andre Canelo being offered 40 million to fight Canelo, right? Andre fighting for I think they offered Canelo 40 million to fight Andre, but we've never heard any offer being made to. Why isn't a 20 million or 25 million offer being made for to Golovkin for that fight? And because let's be honest, Golovkin never really avoided anybody in his prime. It was people avoiding him. But why isn't there been an offer made to Golovkin?
Because Andre. If he did get the chance to fight Golovkin, he would, but he's not. He's clearly not going for it because he hasn't actually tried to fight Golovkin. It's just him talking all the time. Right, Andre, he claims he's the most avoided fighter. Oh, he wants a big fight. Right, he pulled out the Jamel Charlo fight. He pulled out the Derevyanchenko fight. He ducked Lara twice. He's now ducked Yanabek. Who else has he ducked? He's ducked someone else. I think he ducked Daniel Jacobs. Daniel Jacobs said he'd love to fight him, and Andre said out of his own mouth that he doesn't want to fight Jacobs because they're friends. So that's 5 fighters, I believe.
That's one guy, man. Everything else is hearsay, man. Like you don't know just because somebody says, "Oh yeah, I would love to fight Andre." What are they supposed to say? What are they supposed to say? Nah, man, Andre, man, he's dangerous. I don't want to fight Andre, man. No, I'm scared. No way.
He pulled out those 2 fights. That's not me just talking. Those are actual facts. He pulled out those 2 fights. He did duck Lara. I mean, you guys believe Andre saying, "Oh, everyone's ducking me." Oh, Canelo turned down 40 million. Lara said he turned him down twice. I mean, so that means I can believe Lara, right? I mean, it's a bit like that.
It's like factual reporting that Canelo declined $40 million to fight him. That's like factual reporting. Like we actually can like.
No, there's factual reporting of Andre also doing a Mel fight and the Derevyanchenko fight. I can get up right now if you want me to.
Hearsay.
Do you want me to get up right now, just so I can silence you?
Yeah. No, drop the links for anything that you say like is actual fact and not like words.
But here's the thing, though, D-Money, I'll ask you a question. That Andre's been like, I've known about Andre for a very long time, for almost a decade now, right? Maybe more than a decade. The fact is, don't you think there's some blame has to be put on him and his team? The fact that they've not been able to secure one top-level name for over a decade. You can't blame everybody else, Eddie Hearn, or you have to blame yourself a little bit as well.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Irrespective of whether he has been avoided, but you have to look at yourself.
Andre recently just ducked Yanabek, but no one's talking about that.
How did he duck him, bro? Because he went up, bro. He's in a division.
Yanabek's not really a huge fight. It's not really a huge fight.
Yeah, it's not a huge fight, but obviously he knows Yanabek's right. Andre and Charlo, guys like that. They want to take easy routes to get to the top. They're just waiting for the payday. This is what Andre does. I mean, Andre's a fraud. I've literally named like 5 guys he's ducked. This is in interviews and everything of him. I mean, this was coming out of his mouth, like the Jacobs one. The facts that he pulled out the Jamel fight.
We already said the Jacobs fight, man.
The
Like, yeah, they're
Derevyanchenko
friends.
fight.
He doesn't want to fight
He
Jacobs.
pulled out those two ones, but no one talks about that. But he's this avoided guy
But why
that
doesn't he
everyone's
want to fight
scared of.
Jacobs? D Money, why doesn't he want to fight Jacobs? Why?
Because they're friends. They're friends.
Behave.
I don't know. They have like history in the back. Like they're friends. They don't want to fight each other.
But did you hear what Mike Tyson? Did you hear what Mike Tyson said?
What he say?
That if we're friends, we break bread together.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We help each other out. We don't want our families to starve. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but Andre doesn't need that. He'll fight. Andre's gonna make money. You know, he'll fight all these dudes from across the way in England, like in wherever else, and still make money. He's making money. You know, but he's not going anywhere. And everybody, like on this panel, he says who has he fought and calls him, a bum, and he's not this and not that, and that, that's what he's dealing with. But he's still making money. Money's not the problem. He's not broke. Like the zone's paying him.
Oh no, not money. But he's getting paid. He's getting paid.
Yeah.
And now he's fighting against Zach Parker on beach. You get good. But the point is like we want to see him against the top tier guys. You know what I mean? And that's what it comes down to. That's what fans want to see. Fans want to see him against the best, not against second tier guys or third tier guys. You know, that's not that doesn't like. How can he be validated as a great fighter if he's not fighting top tier competition? It's just like for me, Andrade is like right now like Jaron Ennis, but the difference is Jaron Ennis is a young kid. You know, and like for me, Jaron Ennis is better than Andrade. But he hasn't done anything. He hasn't won any titles. He hasn't done anything. But for me, Jaron Ennis has got a brighter future, and he looks better than Andre does. He looks more. Because basically you said that Andre on the eye test is good, right?
Yeah,
so
he's got to be
Jaron
great.
Ennis
I don't
on
understand.
The eye test is the best welterweight in the world. Would you agree with that?
Eye test, yeah. I think there's a strong argument for that. I think he has some flaws, but yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So for me, Jaron Ennis is the best. Well, people shot me down because people said, "Well, he ain't beat nobody. He's not done anything." Well, how can you say he beat Crawford? How can you say he beat Spence? So what I'm saying to you is like when Period will beat Canelo, do you see how people would?
Yeah. No, but thing is though, Imran, nobody says that. Nobody comes and says Andre would beat Canelo. They say, why won't Canelo fight Andre?
You never heard people say that.
I haven't heard anybody that I consider like a logical boxing fan say, "Oh yeah, Andre would for sure beat." I think it'd be dangerous. Like I could. Yeah, Christian that was just on. He said that.
Yeah.
And I think Andre's. Yeah, I think Andre's on that. I'll take it back because Andre's on that level to where it's a debate. I don't think anybody's definitively saying like Andre's the best. He's the best in 160. He's the best right now. He's best pound for pound. Like if Canelo fights in the day, he's gonna lose. Like for sure. Because Andre's that good. I don't think anybody has that much confidence, but they will say that he is a great fighter. A lot of people, or people that rate him.
I'd agree.
You got to give him a chance against Canelo. Canelo's a great fighter too, so you got to give him.
Andre beats Benavidez. I think Andre beats Benavidez, and I got shot down for that. People say no, Benavidez batters him, but I think Andre beats him. I think Andre is too slick for him and too fast.
Yeah. But he has to be given opportunity to show, though. That's the thing. He's not given opportunity, and some of that is his fault. Especially the Jamel Charlo, backing out of that fight. That kind of set the tone, and that was bad, right? But still, at this stage, he wants to fight the best, and the best won't give him the opportunity to show it. So what has he decided to do? He said, all right, fine. I'm going to go up to 168, and him and Benavidez have like a verbal agreement, from what I've been seeing, that they're going to fight each other after, after the Parker. So then that's it. So, and once he fights Benavidez, that's I feel like that'll shoot his career way up if he beats him.
D-Money, but didn't they? I'm gonna agree with you on everything. But didn't Samson? I think the manager that is, or one of the promoters, something around there for David Benavidez. Didn't he come out in an interview and say that he wants more money to fight Demetrius Andrade?
Right.
They're trying to price themselves out. Like they're saying, like, oh, this guy's now is a waste of time. Like, Why would you say that? That makes Benavidez look like a chump. Like he doesn't want to like accept a good fight. Like what is it?
I think Benavidez came out after that, and he was like, he did an interview and was like, "Nah, man, like I want to fight Andre. Like after the next fight, like I want to fight Andre." But yeah,
that would be a, that would be a, the yeah. That's what I feel.
That.
Yeah,
nobody wants to fight him.
Yeah, and I honestly feel like Imran, like this is what I was trying to tell you and D-Money and the rest of the panel. I just feel that like for some oddball reason, Demetrius Andrade is like blackballed or like blacklisted in the boxing game. Like, why is it that nobody wants to fight him? Why?
Oh yeah, can I say something here? Obviously, because obviously people in the comments are saying I'm lying. I've been trying to send it through, but it's not actually sent on. So I'm just going to read it to you. Right, this is Right, this is what Derenchenko's manager was saying. We were in the 9th inning of negotiations to fight Andrade and had agreed on pretty much everything, Connolly said. We were told by his people that he was ready and that he had agreed, but then at the last second he pulled out. He claimed he didn't have enough time to get ready, but these negotiations took place 7 weeks before the fight date, so that's plenty of time. If you think you're going to take the fight, you start training right away. So I'm not lying. He did pull out the Derenchenko fight. So stop calling me a liar in the comments.
I just think, bro, like hearing stuff from the manager of Derenchenko, like that's not like the best source for what happened with Andrade and why that fight didn't happen. Like managers say they're supposed to say things that make their fighter look dangerous and make the other dude look like he was scared, and that's why it didn't work out. Like,
so the manager's just lying that they were in negotiations and everything. I mean, come on,
how many times have we seen a manager like? Well, look what we just saw with Devin Haney. Like both managers were being accurate and honest about the negotiations and how that went down. Like managers, like they lie, bro. Like I don't.
So D-Money, let me ask you. Can I ask you a question? Would you say that Andre ducked Janibek? I want to get your thoughts on that.
No,
people are saying it in the comments.
It's the same. If he beats Janibek, nobody's gonna be like, man, Andre, yeah, man, he's for real now. Like, yeah, no, now that he beat Janibek was for real. He was an A-level fighter. So now that he beat him, now Demetrius Andre, yeah, Canelo has to fight him next for sure. Like, he's top now. He's pound for pound now. Nobody would have said that. They would have been like, oh, okay, maybe Janibek's not all that. Janibek wasn't ready or whatever. Like that's not like he's been sitting in that division for years, knocking down anybody that would say his name. So beating him, that's not going to do anything for him. Like I said, going up into 168 and fighting Parker and then fighting whatchamacallit, Benavidez, and then becoming the mandatory for Canelo. Depending on what Canelo does, like that's way better than just beating Janibek. Like, oh man, like that would have been the best. Like if you beat Janibek, wow.
But Andrade, Andrade has been fighting loads of these mandatories, but when someone dangerous finally comes in, he vacates and moves up. I mean, he could have. I mean, people are saying, "Oh yeah, he's moved up to fight Canelo." He could have done that ages ago. He really could have done it ages ago, but now he's doing all of a sudden because he's seen a threat.
Yeah, I think it's because he was waiting on, like he's been calling out Charlo, waiting for Charlo. Like if he beats Charlo, that's way better than beating Janibek. You agree or disagree?
Yeah. Him being Charlo is way better, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what if he beats Golovkin, is that better than beating Janibek?
Yeah.
Yes.
The dude is right. So he's 32 years old. He does not have time to be beating the Janibeks of the world. Let's wait around for another Janibek.
He's 34. Andre's 34.
Is he 34? I thought he's 32. Is he 34 or 32?
No, a waste of a career of him just, pulling out of fights.
He doesn't have a lot. Regardless, he doesn't have a lot of time for that. Like, he doesn't have time to be beating these, he needs to fight the best.
Yeah, he's 34. He's 34.
He's 34? Okay, well, he has no time. He has to fight the best, man. He has to right now. Mm-hmm. He can't waste time. Like his time is basically run out. Like if he doesn't make a big fight in the next two, and the way his style is, he's such a athletic fighter. Once the athleticism is gone, Andre's done. So you really gotta optimize your fights right now. You can't be fighting Janibek. That's why I think he did. I don't think he ducked Janibek, man. Andre, you name all these fights that he ducked, but everybody that has come out on a microphone and said I want to fight Andre or Andre soft or Andre this and that has fought. So I don't know.
Yeah, to be honest, we've been waiting for Andre now for a while. So hopefully, look, that we can get those fights over the line. I think I want to see Andre Charlo. I think that's a great fight, man. What do you think, Cito? Can't hear you, CO. CO, your volume's off. You're on mute.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So I honestly think, to be quite honest with you, I honestly think you're right. I think it was D that was speaking last time. I think Father Time is catching up with Demetrius Andrade, and yeah, it's his time to shine. He's got to make some big moves to grow up and be known at least at the elite level of competition. He definitely has to score a good fight to be at least known as a force to be reckoned. Like I said, I just honestly think they've blacklisted him, man. Like no one wants to fight him for some scary reason, but we can go with we can all go with an opinion and an assumption, but we don't know what's really happening behind the scenes. But I honestly think that Demetrius Andrade deserves a chance to go there, fight the best and be known. I mean, hey, for crying out loud, even Gabe Rosado, who's a tough, rugged contender, even he's gotten up there and gotten some opportunities. Get what I'm saying? So why are they not giving it to Demetrius Andrade?
But why would someone blackball him? I don't understand. Why would they blowball him, or why would they do that?
Well, think about it, man. His first promotion company, he was with All Star Promotions. They didn't do anything for him. Then he went over to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn had the staple. At the time, he had Canelo. He had Triple G. He had Danny Jacobs. He had some of the top tier middleweights. Why didn't he pair them together? You know what I mean? Like he was fighting like unknown fighters. Granted, he won each time, but I just feel like he was just being really mismanaged. So I just hope now that he goes to PBC, at least with him having Al Heyman as an advisor, they realize like, hey, he's proven to be a worthy fighter. Let's put him up there with, the likes of Charlo, the likes of Benavidez, the likes of somebody, so he can earn his name and be get paid for what he deserves and be known for the great fighter he is. Like everybody who's a diehard boxing fan knows that Charlo isn't a pushover, that he's not a bum. The guy is an amazing athlete. I just don't think no one's giving him the chance to really go out there and shine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got a point. You got a point there. We need to see him in big fights. Hopefully soon, they'll make a big fight for him. Because time, as D Money said, time's running out. Tick tock.
Yeah.
The time's slowly running out.
Yeah. Hey guys, I gotta get going. Talk to you guys later.
All right, take care, CO.
All right,
later, guys. Later, guys.
See ya. Take care. Yeah. So before we finish off, what about this? What about Andrade v Billy Joe? Do you think that ship sailed? What do you think about that fight?
Andrade beats Billy Joe now, but I mean Billy Joe, the guy's not even training anymore, and he's never been disciplined anyway. So yeah, I even when they were scheduled to fight, I would have picked Andrade.
What do you think, D Money?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, no, I thought he would beat him the first time. But no, he would have beat him the first time, man. I mean, Billy Joe tested positive, and then all of a sudden the fight dies. Like, what is that? Like, that would have been a huge fight for Andre. That would have been huge. Yeah. You can't say he hasn't fought nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, he beat Billy Joe. So, but it is what it is. Like you say, and that's a question for everybody to figure out. Why, under the same promotion of DAZN, does Andre is not able to land a big fight when he obviously is crying like all the time that he can't get a big fight? He can't get a big fight. He can't get a big fight. Why with Triple G, Canelo, I think Billy Joe at time, like why all these fights you can't get a fight?
Yeah, crazy, true. Man. Good point, man. It's a good point.
With Golovkin in the zone, why Golovkin probably never got offered to fight Andrade or anything?
I don't know why you keep saying he never got offered, man. That's not like a fact, and I don't think that would be true, man. Like why do you think that would be true?
I'm pretty sure if Golovkin got offered to fight Andrade, and when he's got no other fight lined up or anything, he would fight Andrade. I don't know why people think Golovkin would duck that fight. I mean, the guy that she sent in his last interview, they're just calling him out that nothing's actually happening. I mean, you seriously think the guy who's actually proven that he's great, he's going to duck Andrade. I mean,
Well,
I don't know
no.
where
So
people get
you
this
break it down to
nonsense
me.
from,
You break it down to
honestly.
me. You break it down
Honestly,
to me. So
I was
yeah.
about to say before you cut me off is that
Go
why I
ahead,
don't think Golovkin never got offered the Andrade fight is because Golovkin signed with DAZN to because he got promised the Canelo fight. That's what DAZN was always trying to make. They was trying to make the trilogy. That's why Canelo got out of DAZN for that 12-fight deal, because they wanted him to fight Golovkin, and Canelo refused. He didn't want to fight Golovkin in the trilogy. He wanted to do other things. That's why.
So
That's
you
what I was
saying
about to
Canelo?
say.
You saying Canelo duck Triple G then?
Well, he's fighting him now, so he just didn't want to fight him.
Well, did he age? Did he age
undisputed.
him out? Did he wait till he turned 40 years old?
I thought Canelo aged Golovkin out the first time. I mean, when Golovkin first fought him, he was like 36, 37. Yeah, I thought Canelo did. I don't know what you're trying to prove here. I'm honest. You're not.
No. I was just asking. I was just asking.
I know you're trying to prove something, but
No. I'm asking because a lot of people,
Okay.
won't say like same thing. Like Canelo's such a great fighter, like he didn't duck anybody. That's
he has.
okay. So I was just curious.
Right. When he fought Kovalev and he vacated the belts, I even said he ducked Bivol and Beterbiev. Imran, actually, I think I did say it before he was announced to fight Bivol. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said that. Yeah. So, but now he's fighting Bivol. Maybe he thinks he's a bit more confident in himself, which, I mean, he could be. He's gone a lot better since then, so now he probably thinks he can beat someone like Bivol. But back then, I don't think he was, because he vacated.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like Canelo's definitely Canelo. I think it's hard to criticize people that have fought a lot of top guys. Whereas when you've got guys that haven't fought a lot of top guys, it's a lot easier to criticize them. So yeah, Canelo's resume is a great resume. So it's hard to criticize him, even though you can. Then when you've got guys that haven't got as great a resume. So you could arguably say Golovkin ducked Andre Ward, right? What do you guys think? Golovkin ducked Andre Ward?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
No, I don't think Golovkin ducked Andre Ward. There's Golovkin even said when he was in an interview saying that HBO wanted to make that fight. He said yes, and Ward said no because he was quote unquote injured. So
that's not what Andre Ward said.
What are you
Andre
saying,
Ward
bro?
said that Golovkin avoided that fight.
Yeah, of course, Andre Ward's going to say that.
Well, how are you going to believe Golovkin over Andre Ward? Like, and I'm asking Makai, like, you just going to believe like Golovkin's side and just Andre Ward? What Andre Ward said was lying, but Golovkin, he's for sure, telling the truth. Like his team's for sure telling the truth.
Well, I know Golovkin would have. Right, this was when Golovkin was in his prime, so he was trying to fight everybody. He was. Ward, I mean, just that guy flipping. The guy hasn't really. Right, Froch is his only legit win. I mean, Kessler, the guy cheated, headbutted him and everything. He's waited out for so long in his career as well. Like the guy's career is just so questionable. He's the most dirtiest fighter I know. I'm pretty sure I'd rather believe someone like Golovkin who's done it properly than a fraud like Ward.
Oh, okay. So we see how this is. Okay.
That's a bit harsh though, Makai.
Yeah, we see what this is.
Ward's an absolute fraud.
Okay.
Where is it?
We know what time it is.
You can't like I think calling Ward, Ward was like, look, he was quite dirty at times, and his fights were quite boring. He wasn't an interesting fighter. Interesting in the sense that he didn't really draw big numbers, but he was a good fighter. He was very effective. He knew how to neutralize.
I'm not taking it. I think Ward was definitely he did have skill, but the guy was dirty as hell. I don't know why people deny that. I mean, people still deny in the Kovalev rematch that Ward didn't cheat. I mean, it's literally in front of your eyes that they were like he hit him in the nuts like 3 times, and then the fight got stopped. But people still for some reason deny that. I mean, they can literally see it. Like, are they that demoralized?
I think Kovalev was done before that, though, Makai. I don't think he was going to win that fight. I think he was kind of like... I thought Kovalev won the first one anyway. Hey? Kovalev won the first one. I thought he won the first one as well. I thought Kovalev beat him the first time. But I think the second time, Kovalev was kind of done, not just in the fight, but prior to the fight. I think he was already kind of not the fighter. like everyone knew that Kovalev had his habits of, drinking and stuff. We knew about that.
Yeah.
Ward knew about that. So, they even said that, Ward even said it publicly before the fight that, Kovalev has drinking habits, and that's going to show up in the fight. And it did. His own trainer, John David Jackson, knew that Kovalev was on the way out, and now that Kovalev, I think his John David Jackson opens up about it. He hates Kovalev because Kovalev, kind of stitched him up. But the point I'm trying to make is that I think Ward was I do rate Ward very highly, but I see where you're coming from. I think Mackay, I think the reason why you're saying what you're saying is because you find Ward a very horrible fighter to watch. As Canelo would say, horrible fighter, which Ward was at times, the way he neutralized guys. He wasn't like Mayweather. Mayweather was a lot more, Mayweather wasn't like that. He wasn't like, using his head or but having said that, Mackay, Timothy Bradley used his head a lot.
Yeah, he did.
He was a very dirty fighter. How many times did he?
Sean, I can name loads of dirty fighters. I can name loads. I mean, I remember with Andre Ward, I remember literally seeing one clip of him fully elbowing someone. Like, the guy is so dirty. The guy's just a dirty fighter. And when this whole Golovkin and Ward combo started happening was when Ward was out for those 2 years of him just talking non-stop about Golovkin, because Golovkin was HBO's guy. He was bringing in fans. He was just clout chasing. He was never trying to fight Golovkin. I mean, it's clear as well.
Ahmed's a big Ward fan. Ahmed's a big Ward fan, Mackay. Ahmed's a big Ward fan. I'm gonna get Ahmed in. Ahmed, Ward,
how are you, man?
Fighter.
Well, sometimes you have to do what it takes to win, and I mean, Ward is a quality operator, and sometimes he might have got a little bit dirty, but overall, he's a unbelievable fighter. He's proved it.
What do you think about Golovkin and Ward? Who do you think avoided who?
I think Golovkin enabled Sanchez knew not to go that way.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Why do you think so?
Because the style Andre Ward would neutralize Golovkin. Andre Ward is bigger than Golovkin, and
I don't know though, Ahmed. I don't know. I was thinking about that fight the other day. I don't know how Ward would neutralize him. Explain how he would neutralize him.
Look, Golovkin's a pressure fighter. All Andre Ward needed to do is neutralize the pressure, and Andre Ward would have.
Yeah, but how? But who has Andre Ward fought that was a pressure fighter like that?
People like Chad Dawson was a big guy coming forward.
Not as good a pressure fighter as Golovkin.
I believe Chad Dawson was also weight trained, so just saying that.
And
Golovkin was a very, very good pressure fighter. Fighter.
And with what Andre Ward did with Carl Froch, I mean, if Abel Sanchez and Golovkin watched that fight, definitely they would have been turned off by that.
Carl Froch is a different type of fighter, though, Ahmed. He's a different type of fighter. He's not a pressure fighter. He's more of a guy that he likes to box, Froch, but he's quite limited, Froch. When we're comparing him to Golovkin, he's more limited than Golovkin. Golovkin's got a better jab. He's got better footwork. He cuts the ring off much better. He leaves not much exit for you. This is what I'm saying. I think people automatically would say Ward wins, but I don't see that being an easy. I think that would be a horrible fight for Ward, to be honest with you, because I don't think Ward has the power, Ahmed, to really push Golovkin back. I think Golovkin would keep coming, and I think Golovkin is also very technically good as well.
He's got enough power to get Golovkin's respect. I mean, he had enough power. He's a weight above him as well. And obviously, with the way he dealt with Froch, just a man. I mean, if Froch fought Golovkin, it would have been a much closer fight. But look what Ward did to Froch. He completely, outskilled him.
I think Golovkin could have stopped Froch.
I don't know about that.
I'll tell you why. Because Golovkin's got punching power, and he's technically sound as well. Ward hasn't got that kind of punching power.
Froch is a big one. Froch is a big 168 pounder, strong coming forward, and he hits very hard as well. And Froch himself said in an interview once when Abel Sanchez came and sized him up, and he turned something like that along them lines.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that.
Pretty sure Froch
I
once
think.
said in an interview with Groves,
Yeah.
like that he'd avoided Golovkin like the plague. I mean, people may have thought
Yeah.
he was just like joking around, but I mean, why on earth would you say that? I mean, it's clearly part of it that he's not joking. And I think he also, and I think there's been loads of interviews saying that he wouldn't fight Golovkin anyway. So
No, at that point, Froch was on his way out, wasn't he? Froch was on his way out. Golovkin was at his peak, so it was one of them where it was just not the right time or the wrong. No, it wasn't the right time or the right place for him, was it?
man.
So we've got some comments here. Golovkin, Imran, agreed Imran. So what's this? Jose, what's this comment here? Agreed Imran, GG would be a tough fight for Ward. Imagine Canelo moved up to 175 and only fought the guys Ward fought at 175. So Kovalev. So here's the thing, Ahmed. You want to talk about this Bivol Canelo fight because I know you're excited about it.
Definitely.
Tell me. What do you think Bivol's gonna win? Don't you?
It's a 50-50 fight, but if I had to pick a winner on a completely even playing field, completely, I'd slightly give the edge to Bivol, but that's on a completely even playing field. Now, if it's one of them close fights, they're
It's
gonna
not
give
gonna be an even playing field. We know that.
This is what I mean.
So Canelo's gonna win, Ahmed.
Well, he's got that advantage in it on that side, but if Canelo can win in my eyes, then obviously I'm gonna rate him big time.
So
because
legitimately, if Canelo can knock him out or Canelo can legitimately school Bivol, then then you'll be like, yeah, this guy's.
I will be a Canelo fanboy.
Yeah. If he can pull it off,
definitely. I think they might give him the draw. If Bivol, if he wins, I think they might give him the draw. Because I was watching somebody, I forgot who it was, but they were like, do we really think, with everything going on with Russia and Ukraine, if they didn't, if Triple G won that first Canelo fight and they didn't give it to Triple G, and they love Triple G, like the media, like the media, the boxing world, they love Triple G. They didn't give him a win. And he won that fight. Like, I mean, a lot of people say not too many people say it's close. Most people agree that he won that fight, and they didn't give it to Triple G. Bivol has nowhere close to the star status of somebody like a Triple G at that time, even now.
I do think though, if Bivol was to win and then they rob him or whatever, I don't think that's good for Canelo's legacy because how many fights are going to be like that, man?
I know.
So I would rather if Canelo loses, he loses and then rematches him because that's also part of your legacy. If you rematch somebody and then you beat them.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you there, Imran. Yeah, if you lose, it's rather give him the loss and then let him come back determined and have a rematch.
If he wins, then they're not going to rematch, are they? Even if for example, they, people think, oh, Canelo lost, So I'd rather him lose the fight if he does lose, rather than them giving him a dodgy decision because his legacy gets affected. So yeah, I would rather Canelo. I rate Bivol. I think he's a very good fighter. And that's a dangerous fight for Canelo. It is. It is. This is nothing to. Bivol is nothing to sleep on. This guy's a very, very good fighter, and I think it's going to be a very tough fight. I do. But I think Canelo's experience might be. I think that, and if it's a close fight, which it may well be, I think Canelo might get the nod.
Yeah, it's interesting. It seemed like you switched up because originally you were saying like, he's Bivol sort of like a plant, like Canelo's had experience fighting these type of fighters.
But then I watched more of him. I've watched more of him, and I'm kind of like confused now. Like I've watched more of him. He's a lot more dangerous than what what I mean? He's a bit more spiteful. You know what I mean? He's a bit more dangerous than what I initially thought.
Yeah, you must have watched the Pascal fights and
I watched that one.
Caleb Plant or Billy Joe Saunders or Carl Smith.
They don't have that spite in their punch. They don't have that venom in their punches that Bivol has. Bivol, don't get me wrong. I still feel Canelo will find a way. I at this point, you'd have to beat Canelo for me to believe you. It's got to that stage. It's like a bit like Mayweather, you know, where it's like you'd have to beat him for me to believe you, because Canelo right now is looking dominant. He's looking dangerous. But then how much of that is down to the fact that he's fighting Billy Joe, Callum Smith?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't
So
know. You know what I mean?
that's where I use the eye test, and I'm like, you know, why is Caleb Plant hitting Canelo? Like, why is Canelo going 11 rounds with an old Kovalev that had a couple weeks to prepare? Like, why are those things happening? Like, if you insert Bivol, right, you went 11 with Kovalev, now you're putting in Bivol, and are you supposed to knock Bivol out in 11 rounds? Like, that doesn't add up, you know. So that's where I'm at.
I just think Canelo might have been into the jab, you know, by Bivol in this fight. I think Bivol's jab is going to be key in this fight if he's going to win.
Yeah, it is a very interesting fight. You know, like Bernard Hopkins thinks it's a wash. He thinks that Canelo's going to destroy him.
Yeah, Bernard Hopkins' points of views. I mean, he says that he'll wash Beterbiev, he'll wash Bivol, but then when he was asked about the Andre Ward thingy against Canelo, then he goes, "It'll be a beatdown." So how can he wash? How can he wash Beterbiev? How can he wash Bivol and not give a good account of yourself against Andre Ward?
Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
No, but maybe he thinks Andre Ward is levels above those guys.
No.
Possibly.
That many levels. It's a lot of levels.
I don't know, but like maybe he thinks Andre Ward is. Would you think Andre Ward beats Beterbiev and Bivol? Prime Andre Ward.
Oh yeah, prime in his prime, yeah.
In his prime, yeah. I think it's a good fight though. He's not.
I don't know if he beats Beterbiev.
I don't think he beats them.
I don't know if he beats Beterbiev, man. No, but honestly, I don't know if he beats Beterbiev, man. That's a horrible fight.
No, it'd be similar. It'd be, you know, the way he beat Carl Froch, the way Andre Ward beat Carl Froch.
Yeah, but that's a different beast there, Ahmed. That's a different guy right there.
Beterbiev will give him a better fight, but Ward would pull away just the extra skill, just the elusiveness, and would nick him the rounds.
Here's the thing, though, Ahmed. I don't know if Andre Ward's chin can stand up to that kind of power, man. I'll be honest with you. Like, he hasn't fought anybody that hits that hard, and that's. Remember, Kovalev's a boxer. Kovalev's a puncher, but he's a boxer. Beterbiev's a pressure fighter.
Yeah, you're right, Imran. But with Beterbiev, he sets the punches up, and sometimes they can be telegraphic. And Andre Ward could be too cute for that. His computer in his head, if you know what I mean.
I agree, but how's he going to get out of the way of that? Like, if a guy's constantly on top of you, if Andre Ward can't hurt Beterbiev's a bigger guy. He's constant. Remember, Beterbiev has a very, very deep amateur background. He's not like just a wild guy. This is a guy that's had 380 amateur fights or something ridiculous like that. And he only lost like 3 or 4 or 5 or something ridiculous. So the point I'm trying to make is that Beterbiev is a very good pressure fighter. He's also a good boxer. But the problem is with Ward's smaller man in that fight. If Beterbiev is pressuring Ward, remember, Ward used to negate people because at 168 with like clinching, grabbing hold. But Beterbiev might just push him right off because Beterbiev might be too strong. You know that, and then the power of Beterbiev. We know Ward can be hurt. He's been down, and Beterbiev's got the kind of power that, as Stephen would say, to clean your clock. You know, that guy's got some serious power. And remember, Ward's a much smaller man. So I don't know. That's like, this is why I said to you earlier that Golovkin is a dangerous fight because Ward's not faced anyone like that. That's a pressure. Remember, these are technical pressure fighters. They're not like, you know how like Maidana was a very good fighter, one of my favorite fighters, but Maidana wasn't a technical pressure fighter. He was a wild pressure fighter.
No, I get your point. You're right. Beterbiev would give Ward a much.
They're not.
Beterbiev would be a harder fight for Ward compared to Golovkin, because obviously of the weight and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know though. I don't know.
Imran, it seems like you rate Beterbiev, man. It seems like you really think Beterbiev, like, what is he pound for pound for you, or like up there, like top
I think
7?
he's top 10. He should be, man. I think he
Mm.
should be. Like, but he does. Again, these guys don't get the credit because they don't really promote themselves. They're like they're you know, they're kind of in the obscurity. Do you see what I mean? They don't really get talked about. Like Beterbiev destroyed Govzik. Who does that?
Yeah.
Govzik. Canelo's now sparring with Govzik. He absolutely ruined him.
Yeah.
And Govzik beat Stevenson. Stevenson was a killer.
Yeah.
Like, I know Stevenson was at the end of his career and stuff, but Adonis Stevenson, yo, that guy's power was up there with Wilder's one-punch knockout power.
Mm.
Yeah, Stevenson's left hand was like the left hand from hell. Stevenson hit you with that left hand, you were gone. Like, I think Stevenson could have beaten Ward. Stevenson was a monster. Stevenson could have beaten Kovalev. No, like, that guy was docked like anything. Who wanted to go near Stevenson? Nobody wanted to go. No one even takes that guy's name at that point. Stevenson was a monster, like literally a killer. And Govzik beat him. I don't know how Govzik beat Stevenson down, and then Beterbiev just played with Govzik. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I think Beterbiev. I don't think in terms of like accolades and who he's beat. Like, he hasn't really beat a lot of top guys. Beterbiev. But I do think the way he beat up Govzik was something.
Yeah, man. There's a reason Canelo's bought Vosdick in his training camp, because obviously, you know, he's looking further to the Beterbiev fight, and obviously there's going to be a measuring stick for him.
Govzik's a good boxer. Govzik's a good boxer. He'll prepare him for Bivol.
And he hits hard. He hits hard as well.
Yeah. Govzik.
Yeah, I bet you. Look, I'm not a hater, but I bet you we won't see any footage of him sparring Govzik because, you know, Govzik's way, you know, he's retired and all of it. But that dude he can box. You know, he's more of a boxer style. And Canelo really hasn't had a fight with a real boxer type of style guy. You know what I'm saying? Like Caleb Plant, bro, I recorded it on my phone. I was disgusted. Caleb Plant did this like he had Canelo, like, and he did this 1, 2, 3 pitter patter combination, like, and he like it was like a girl punching. You know, I'm not trying to disrespect him, but it just like hit him. Like, what? Step into it and
Caleb Plant, they call him Sweet Hands for a reason. You know what I mean?
Sugar sweet.
They call him Sweet Hands for a reason. Like, he's Sweet Hands. You know what I mean? He hasn't got that venom in. You know, like, you know, some people have that. He doesn't have it. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't have that, you know, iron, you know, like, he doesn't have those hard hands, you know. Who am I thinking? Like, Andre's got a bit more venom. Do you know what I mean? Like, Andre's fast. He's, you know, but he's got a bit more venom in his punches. You know, Billy Joe's another one, a bit of a feather-fisted fighter. Good fighter, Ahmed. Billy Joe.
Yeah.
But he's feather-fisted. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't have that clamp. Like, you know, someone like Khan, for example. Khan was fast, but Khan had a little bit of spite in his punches as well, in his weight class. Not against Canelo, of course, but in around his weight class, he had a bit of venom in his punches. There's some guys that they have speed, but they don't have no venom in their punches. Plant don't have no venom. You know, Bradley, for example, Bradley couldn't crack an egg. You know, but you look at someone like Andrade, for example, he's got fast hands, but he's got a bit of venom, you know, a bit of spite in his punches. You know, it's not like he's total feather-fisted. Do you know what I mean? He's not a big power puncher, but he's got a bit of venom there. Do you know what I mean? But there's certain fighters like Plant doesn't have any venom. Do you know what I mean? A D-Money. He's got no venom in his punch.
Paulie Malignaggi, feather-fisted.
Oh yeah, that guy was. He was.
Do you guys think he'd have good success if he actually had power, or no?
Who? Malignaggi.
Yeah, Malignaggi.
Yeah, he may have done. He may have had a better career. You know what I mean?
He would. His career would have been a lot better if he had a bit of pop in his punches. I reckon if he had power, I reckon it actually would.
Yeah. You know, you need to have a little bit of pop in your punches, man. You need to have a little bit, like even people talk about Mayweather, but Mayweather had power, man. Mayweather wasn't feather-fisted. Mayweather could punch. Like you could see when Mayweather let those right hands go, they had venom behind them. Like, what you think he would have been able to keep Canelo off, or keep Cotto off, or keep all these Pacquiao and all these guys off if he had no power?
Mayweather proved it. Mayweather improved his punching power because his timing was beautiful.
Yeah. He had great timing.
Yeah.
he was so fast. You know, Mayweather was like cat-like reflexes. You know, like I
Yeah.
remember when he fought Pacquiao,
Seriously.
he had like ridiculous speed, man. Ridiculous speed. He's like cat-like reflexes. You know, like Pacquiao's got great hand speed, but Mayweather had like cat-like reflexes, man. It was that guy was ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
You know,
he had
and he
great
even
reflexes, Mayweather. Yes,
yeah, he did. He great
absolutely.
reflexes. You know, great reflexes. The way Mackay, the way he used to dodge a punch by like a inch.
Yeah.
You know, just like it was just great stuff, man. Like, you know, it doesn't look much, but the way he did it was beautiful.
Definitely, yeah.
You know what I
Imran,
mean?
looking forward to tomorrow, day after Ugas against Errol Spence.
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
what do you think?
I've got Errol Spence by split decision.
That's a very good shout. That, yeah, it could be as close as that. Yeah.
What do you think, Ahmed? Because you like skilled fighters, you like these good slick fighters, right? What do you think of Ugas in that fight? You giving him a good shout in that one?
Well, yeah, I'm giving him a good chance because don't forget if you put the measuring stick of Sean Porter in there, I
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
they both had very similar fights against him and close fights, and just judging and putting everything into perspective, I think this one could be a very, 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 very close one. Razor thin.
Mm.
It could be nip and tuck.
What do you guys think?
What, Spencer Ugas?
Yeah.
Oh, obviously, I've told you about what I think, but I just want to say this. So I saw the media workout. I think that's the best shape I've ever seen Spence in. Like,
Yeah.
he looks in really, really good shape, man. You know, because he actually was training before the fight was announced and everything. He actually was in the gym because obviously he went through a stage. I think it's after he beat Kell Brook. You know, he'd get really big after camps and all, and then it would just be a fat camp really. When he was training for the fight, he'd just be losing weight. He wouldn't be working and stuff. But now in this training camp, he's probably actually worked on a really good game plan. Like he's worked on his you know, his technique, skills and everything. So that's a very good sign there.
Yeah, I agree with Makai. Yeah.
I'm still a bit like shaky about Spence. You know what I mean? Like, how's he gonna? Yeah, that's a really, really tough matchup. You know, I like that one. I really like it. I really like it, man. But yeah, guys,
And
just a quick. Go on. Who was that?
no, it's all right, man. Carry on.
A final prediction from you guys, man, before we end this, about a few of the fights that are coming up. So I want a Conor Ben prediction, and I want an Ugas Spence prediction. Then next week I want a Fury White prediction, right? And then I want a Canelo Bivol prediction. Go on, Ahmed, you first.
Okay. Conor Ben to win.
Yeah. By knockout?
Yeah, mid to late.
Yeah.
Got I've got Ugas beating Spence split decision.
Wow. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Split decision.
Yeah. That, and then Canelo Bivol. Oh, no, White Fury.
I've got Fury schooling Dillian White, giving him a lesson, and I've got with my own eyes, I've got Bivol beating Canelo, but losing on the night with the judges.
All right. Fair enough. That's good take. D Money.
Who's up first? Which one?
So you can go ahead. Conor Ben v Van Herden.
Yeah, Conor Ben for sure. Yeah.
Knockout.
Yeah. It
Ugas
might.
Spence.
I got Spence. I think he's preparing for. I think he's preparing for Crawford. Honestly, like I think he's he prepared for Ugas because he's fighting Ugas next. But I think like you see the way he's trained. Like I feel like the what was that shot? I can't see his name. Like he was saying,
Mackay, yeah.
Makai, yeah. Like he was saying, like Spence looks like the best he's ever looked, and I feel like because he knows like okay he should be able to beat Ugas, and so now he's getting ready for Crawford because Crawford's he's gonna have to be in the best shape of his career. He's gonna have to be the best version of Errol Spence to beat Crawford to me because I rate Crawford. I rate him really high. So Crawford he's really gonna want that undisputed. Yeah, Crawford's gonna come with it. So anyway, yeah, I got Spence, and then Tyson Fury's getting Dillian White out of here.
Canelo Bivol.
Man, I got a draw. I got Bivol beating Canelo pretty convincingly, and them giving Bivol a draw.
Fair enough. That's a good take, Makai.
Obviously, I've got Ben knockout, and I think Fury is going to beat White on points. And then Canelo Bivol, I think Bivol's going to give Canelo a boxing lesson, but he's going to get robbed probably on the. Do you know what? I'm a didn't you say a draw, Day?
Yeah, I said a draw.
You know what? That's actually not a bad prediction. That actually very well could happen. Bivol's going to give him Bivol could give him a boxing lesson, and then obviously it'll be impossible to actually give Canelo the fight, so they'll do it a draw. That's a good that you know I actually might pick that. Yeah, we'll go for that.
All right, guys, I appreciate your time, man. Great having you guys on. That was a long live stream. Thanks for guys coming on. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Appreciate your time, man, and I'll see you guys soon, man. Hopefully we'll do a couple of live streams in the next couple of days. I'll be hopefully doing some more.
That'll be good.
Cheers, guys, man.
Yeah, cheers,
man. Cheers, man.
Appreciate you.
Take care, man. Take care, guys.
See ya.